Welcome back to the OpenJS Anime Podcast. I'm your host, the Anime Collector. Joining me tonight, the bad decision in a glass, or in glasses, maybe.
Okay then.
I don't know if I'm really delayed or if my joke is just that bad. All right, so let's see.
I'm liking the graduate motif you picked for the
yes.
For the
yes.
header.
Also the title. Do you know why I called it that yet?
No, I rewatched the dub, and I basically all of my memories watching the individual episodes as they
bring it up here, so that when YouTube has to watch the podcast to give us our monetization back, they only have to watch the first 2 minutes to get the reference. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I should have had this ready. So how's everybody doing tonight? I'm making a brilliant decision by doing the podcast at 7:14 on a night before I have work. Although tomorrow's route is probably the lightest route in the entire month. So the normal guy who does it is done by he's done by 11. So shouldn't be that bad, even if I just stay up all night. All right, here we go. Sharing screen so you can understand the reference. Here we are. My name is Roswell L. Mathers. And everything in my mansion is secretly a butt plug. Doorknob. Right? Lights. Whatever the fuck these are.
Yeah, okay.
There's more. I can only include 4 images in a tweet, but I have a whole album. So
that's you have a full album of butt plugs. I'm glad to hear
it. Anyway, all right. So getting started. I'll be real with you guys. This might be the most rushed I've ever been with articles. None of them were that gripping. And then, of course, when I come back to them the next day and say, what if there's anything new? It's like, everything is gripping. Let's throw them all in to this podcast I've already made probably unnecessarily long just to pad it. Now, as I said, I've got work tomorrow, and I'm thinking, I'm dead. I'm tired. I got to get something. Do I have another coffee? I shouldn't have an energy drink, but maybe a coffee's okay. Or maybe I just get Dr. Pepper. I couldn't decide, so I just went with Old Faithful. This podcast not sponsored by G Fuel. So here we are. Bad decision in a can. It tastes like hedgehog. All right.
Shameless G Fuel plug.
So if you guys would, by the way, Dan and FDM will be joining us. They'll just be a little late. If you guys would like to support the OpenJS Anime Podcast, you can do so in so many different ways. But some of our recommended ways are. Hey, look! Speaking of FDDNM, speaking of the devil, I'm trying to add him. That's the first time I think my AirPod has ever fallen out. Yes, Satan. How you doing, FDM? I don't know if he's muted or what. I don't know. Anyway, so there's the OCA Podcast Patreon, which you guys can fund this train wreck of a podcast with.
Do you hear me now?
There's also the Anime Collector. There you are. I hear you. There's also the Anime Collector Patreon, where you can fund the train wreck of the channel. Guaranteed to get a total of 1 transaction a year at the rate things are going. I'll tell you though, if I had $2,000 or something sitting there for me every time I cranked out a video, I gotta tell you, I get done with those 15 first impressions I'm sitting on pretty quick.
On that topic, did you film one for Demon Slayer?
Did I film one for Demon Slayer? Oh, come on.
That
Solo
doesn't
Leia.
answer the question. If you film.
Of course I did. I did. I went to see Demon Slayer. Spoiler alert. It's all right. It's okay. Now, if you guys would like to support me independently, whoever runs this place, stealthweeb.com exists. There you go. It exists. I still have not gotten that slime one up that I've been sitting on for like 3 weeks now. Anyway, all right. So jumping in, let me catch up on the chat real quick. Avoiding the filter. What? Was this a reference to the fail? Yeah, they didn't understand #fail. So RHYS is the one who corrected your spelling of bitchin' from this to this, right? And then I came in and gave the alternate spelling. But the thing is that I accidentally sent it to Facebook and Twitch and Periscope and YouTube. So that's what this is about. There you go. Grammatic Fuhrer, that'd be me. I'm not wrong about Buttplug Mansion. That's what it is. Welcome, Christopher Barker. He said,
Did I not get to that part yet or something? I'm kind of worried.
You missed it? You missed the tweet? Just go look at my most recent Watch Club tweet. Air Gear Manga Volumes 32 and 33 for $2 in book sale. So, thoughts on the manga. I don't have thoughts on the manga. I've seen the anime. I really like the anime. I like the creator, but I do know that the Tenjo Tenge manga from the same creator was censored when it was released over here. So, I don't know if Air Gear was as well, but it should be a fun read. I can't get by on little to no sleep. I make too many mistakes at work. Yeah, well, I plan on making lots of mistakes tomorrow. Docs buy a movie ticket? Darn, I went to see a movie at Bellaterra in Huntington Beach. On the Unholy JDF? I don't know what that is. All right, $2 for manga is a good deal, regardless of what the manga is, unless it's Avril Lavigne's manga. Then he got ripped off. Anyway, all right, let's jump in. So, coronavirus news. Well, actually, I had an article submission from Danny, and I still feel bad that I haven't gone back to what's it called? The Right Stuff printing press, like manga article thing, which I do plan on getting back to at some point, just God knows when. I wasn't actually planning on doing the stream tonight, by the way. I was going to do it on Thursday, but when I got up for work today for my editing, my second job, they did not submit any of the things I asked for. So I was like, well, shit, I don't have it. I might as well do the show today, and then on Thursday, I'll probably be more likely to have the stuff they are going to send me, right? So anyway. All right, so Danny sent me this. How remote working is leading to more men in Japan embracing makeup. I have no words. I'll read it, but I have no words. Do you guys have any thoughts on why, other than like the Zoom calls or whatever? Do you think that men are just trying to be more attractive men? Or do you think that they're getting ahead at work by being femboys? Traps.
Just want to be more attractive men.
It's hard to say, really.
It'd be funny. This video down here loads, and it's like a guy putting on makeup in time lapse, and then it finishes. Oh, he's putting on blackface. Okay, so. Who is this person? I was surprised how different I look, says Yoshihiro Kamichi, a salon customer in Tokyo, Japan. Yoshiro is part of a growing number of men adding makeup to their daily grooming routine. Chumps. You know how much money you're going to spend on that new routine? Demand for makeup has increased during the pandemic, with brands attributing the growth to remote working. Hello? Oh, really?
Yeah, the USPS stuck a label on my mom's door. She just said to let you know.
Is the post office still open?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll get it on the way home from work tomorrow. Thank you.
I'll let you know.
All right. Wait. Good. I want to know, what do you think about men in Japan using makeup now due to the pandemic?
That's not too abnormal for Asian culture.
My wife says all Asian men are gay.
No, I did not.
Okay. Yeah, so my
I've been to Sephora. There's a
So my laptop arrived. I haven't let FDM know yet because I didn't want to get shamed for it, but I bought a new MacBook for my editing gigs. And it arrived 2 days early.
Well, now I'm going to shame you.
Yeah, go ahead. I bought it and the delivery date was set between this certain range, right? And then I realized that when I did the checkout, because I bought the laptop I'm currently using, I bought from the Apple Store too. So all the stuff was still in my like the App Store or the Apple, like my cookies or whatever. Now that I think about it though, kind of weird that it is, because I would have had to install all those cookies should be on the other laptop, right? Now that I think about it. But anyway, the checkout stuff was still in there. It's probably attached to my Apple ID or whatever, right? So anyway, I checked out, and then a couple days go by, and I'm like editing on this machine, which wasn't bad until I started doing the webinars, which have been a beast because I've got like 30 goddamn cameras up at once. But then I realized, hold up, I bet my card, oh dear God, blackface man. Shit. Hold on. Dear fucking God. Okay. There we go. Okay. I don't know how I managed to make it stop, but whatever. Anyway, so I realized that my card attached to that account was probably still had the old address as my billing address, right? And I was correct, right? So I called them and I spoke to them on my way into work. I guess they have a 24-hour helpline. That's great because I talked to them at like 5:30 in the morning, and I got them to fix it. And they're like, okay, and your window for delivery is going to be the same. And I'm like, oh, that's weird that it didn't get any further away because, it's been a week and you hadn't charged me yet. So I guess they had started on it. I don't know, because I got the Japanese keyboard again because I'm an idiot. And anyway, yeah, they delivered it 2 days early now, so that's fucking wonderful. Or they at least attempted to. It's at the post office now. I'm gonna have to get it tomorrow. Anyway, all right. Let me try to re-rail this podcast. Okay, so Yoshiro is part of a growing number of men adding makeup to their daily grooming routine. Demand for makeup has occurred during the pandemic, with brands attributing the growth to remote working. Avatar. Use a fucking avatar. Snapchat cam. Any of these things. I gotta tell you.
That weird thing that FDDNM got me, the logic capture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
seriously. I think I can. Well, there goes FDDNM.
Or not
maybe
capture.
Maybe he's connecting to it right now for the VTuber thing. Anyway, all right. Well, yeah, but I was just saying, like, it was the weirdest thing because I was working at a warehouse where we sold makeup and clothes and stuff when the pandemic started, and business got so fucking swamped. Like, it was the busiest quarter in the history of the company, and the company had been around for like 80 years, right? And it's like, I couldn't believe it that everybody was just staying at home shopping online, Oh, blackface man answered. Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. I wish FDDNM had been here to hear that. Anyway, what is this? Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan from The Walking Dead. Oh, the unholy. No, is that what? Is that supposed to be JDM? I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. Anyway.
I think so.
Anyway, shots fired at your prime minister. FDDNM. Guys putting on makeup makes me think of Homer putting on makeup to be a clown and looking exactly like Krusty the Clown. Yeah. Okay. So I'll power through this real quick. Hiroaki Murakami, a manager at Cosme Tokyo, says, in addition to there being more online meetings,
2 frames a second.
Well, that's unfortunate for me. More online meetings than before. People have more time to spend on themselves. Not me. I'm the busiest I've ever been in my entire goddamn life, thanks to COVID. I think there are more men who watch cosmetic-related YouTube content, and that has contributed to an increase in men's interest in makeup. Hold up. I think Danny is trying to get me to cover the drama with that YouTuber. Was it the Jeffree Star or whatever? So I want to tell you guys a little story about that, and I'm going to butcher it because I don't know it very well. Do you guys know Jeffree Star?
Nope.
Like, there's a YouTuber that there's another one. It's Jeffree Star and somebody else. I forget the other guy's name. He has a more J. Charles or something. I don't know. Anyway, there's a YouTube Me Too movement happening right now called #YouToo, and my friend Nick, who I saw Lupin the First with, who you will know, James Charles. Thank you. I was close with J. Charles. Thank you, Jason said. So anyway, my friend Nick is telling me about this thing because my friend Nick has been posting on TikTok for as a way to kind of grow his brand by utilizing a VFX editor sort of eye on TikTok. You know, like not recording himself, but just posting videos that he pre-produces, right? Anyway, so he's watching
James
this.
Charles.
Yeah, he's watching this thing about James Charles and Jeffree Star or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not Jeffree Star. Anyway, it's some makeup YouTubers. I think one of them is gay and the other one is straight. And one of them is like attracted to like straight guys. Like, it's a weird thing. Anyway, my friend Nick is looking on TikTok and he sees an exposed video or something about this guy and where he groped an underage kid's butt. And he's like, fuck, that looks like my cousin. It's like the whole time he's watching this really looks like my cousin. Why is he smoking though? Right? So then he calls his cousin and finds out it is his cousin. It's his cousin getting groped by Jeffree Star or whoever it was. Yeah, so I don't know why I'm off to a really great start with these derailments because we're 18 minutes in and I haven't gotten through the first paragraph or the first, like half of the article. Anyway, makeup company Shiseido has even created online filters to give men the appearance of wearing foundation or BB cream on conference calls. It seems like you don't even need the makeup at that point. Shiseido filter developer Ayumi Miyamoto says, we received messages from men who saw the filter called maquillage. Okay. No, I'm not going to derail. That were made for women last year. They said men also have online meetings, and it would be nice if there was one for men. We realized there is a certain demand for it, so we decided to invent it. Wow. Rihanna wants to end the stigma surrounding skincare for men. There is a stigma? I mean, I always thought I was doing the right thing by rubbing dirt on. Anyway, the Japanese cosmetics store has dedicated an entire section to cater for customers looking for men's makeup. Brands in the store section include Clinique for Men and an LAB series, among others. Kenta Yamazaki, a customer at the store, says, quote, I think there are men who cannot buy cosmetic products because it's hard for them to casually drop in. My wife chimes in. To clarify, in Korea, they have a lot of skincare products for men and women. The trend seems to be going worldwide, and you see a lot of Korean skin products coming here, including I can't believe I decided to put this at the front of the podcast. Including makeup. It wouldn't be beyond my belief that makeup could also be worn by men in Korea and other places in Asia if it's a trend. I don't think the average Joe will be doing it, but those who are following trends might. Well, Hey, Dancer. And sorry, Dan. I removed you after you were added by RHYS. How's it going, buddy? So, we're talking about men in Japan who are now using makeup because COVID broke them as a man.
Well, that would explain a few trends that are occurring.
Yeah. I'm not even going to try to find out if this guy actually wears blackface by the end of it, because that was too good of a joke for it to be real. Now he turns into a woman. Anyway.
Well,
okay.
There was that one stream where you did bitch.
Yeah. That's the joke I was gonna make. I was gonna say like they're using the makeup to give themselves facial hair, but I was remembering that stream and how I had to stop. That was the first JoJo stream. I think it's podcast 51. I had to stop because I was like, this is getting dangerously close to blackface. I was doing a full beard. And I'm like, there's a certain level to where if I go a little too far, YouTube's just going to cancel me on principle. Anyway, I'm going to take back the rightful seat over here. Thank you. All right. So Tokyo and Osaka go dark as a third state of emergency is declared to combat COVID-19 in Japan. Now, I'm sure there's some very important data in this article, but I'm not going to read it because I don't care. So, all major cinemas, event halls to close in Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto for third state of emergency, a.k.a. the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, coalition to maintain top spot over Ava Rebuild 4 is happening. All right, that was terrible. Also, Joe Hisaishi's final concert. I didn't cover this last podcast. Joe Hisaishi, the composer for Studio Ghibli movies, was doing a concert, right, during COVID. Live concert that has been canceled, including the live stream sessions. So he's like, go big or go home. Well, I guess I'm just not doing a last concert, going out like a pimp. Anyway. Continuing here.
Well, I guess that would mean whatever concert he did previously was in fact his last.
Hold on to those ticket stubs, folks.
So Crayon Shin-chan's 29th anime film has been postponed as the third state of emergency looms. Because, they're totally going to beat Kimetsu no Yaiba. Kids are going to go see this one 1,000 times. Anyway, so these are all sad things. You know what's not canceled? Guess what's not canceled? The Olympics.
Oh,
guess what is canceled, though?
Everything else?
Taking a knee and raising a fist at the Olympics.
The Japanese don't want any of that Western political bullshit.
Well, I don't know if it's the Japanese. It's the International Olympic Committee. So it's more than just Japan, but it might be Japan heavy when it's being held in Japan. I'm not sure if the members of that committee are like a UN, It's like the fucking UN of the committees, Anyway, so the IOC is maintaining its ban on athlete protests inside stadiums, at ceremonies, and on podiums, forbidding participants from taking a knee or lifting a fist. Actions that have recently been taken by adding FDDNM back to the stream, thank you. That have been taken by other professional sports players in support of, quote, racial equality movements, and has since led to them having a vast decline in viewership. Rule 50 of the International Olympic Committee, quote, forbids any kind of demonstration or political, religious, or racial propaganda in venues and any other Olympic area. So my favorite thing about this is that when somebody inevitably does shout like Black Lives Matter or does something of the sort, they have to, if if they shut that shit down, they have to argue on the grounds that it's racial propaganda. Ooh, the rules. So the committee has agreed to uphold the rule after consulting the athletes. Supporters of certain destructive political, quote, movements have been calling for this rule to be removed so that the athletes can virtue signal about so-called race issues that have supposedly become such a horrid plague all across the world, and further push the false narrative. These are the words of Rift. YouTube, I'm reading the words of Rift on Sankaku Complex. I do not confirm or deny my belief in Rift's words. I'm just reading the words, okay? I have to say that because we're still in the first 30 minutes. The International Olympic Committee's Commission Chief Christy Coventry reviewed the rule and consulted various athletes, starting back in June 2020 and involving around 3,500 athletes, quickly coming to the conclusion that most of the athletes, allegedly 70%, don't want any protests on the field or on the podiums. So you're telling me that black people make up 30% of the population and only 30% wanted to protest on the field? That's pretty fucked up. So he said, quote, I would not want something to distract from my competition and take away from that. Which is to say, I don't give a shit how many black men die today by police brutality. I'm competing here and you're here to see me, damn it. Right? That is effectively what he's saying, which I think is funny because there's like an irony to it where it's like, on the one hand, it's really fucking annoying when people like politicize or, as they've called it, racial propagandize a sporting event. But on the other hand, it's like there is some truth to the statements that they're making, and it's kind of funny to sweep them under the rug for the sake of the sport, which is, I don't know, I see an irony in it. Anyway, that is how I still feel today regarding wanting the competition to not be overshadowed by some bullshit. Coventry, a former Olympic swimming champion for Zimbabwe, said in an online presentation of the Rule 50 consultation results. Humorously enough, it seems even the Olympics have been tainted by, quote, diversity and inclusion. As it is said, the IOC Executive Board approved various things recently, some of them being an altered wording to the Olympic oath with messages on inclusion, and the production of clothing for athletes that contains, quote, inclusive messaging. It is not clarified if support for attack helicopters was part of this inclusive messaging. Quoting Rift. So I will say this, though. I think it's quite funny because it's like, does this mean that men are going to win every medal? Because it's going to be trans women and men holding the spot? Coventry confirmed that any athletes that make political statements like taking a knee or raising a fist will be punished, and said, quote, that is also because of the majority of athletes we spoke to. That is what they are requesting for. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics were delayed an entire year due to the Chinese coronavirus and are planned to begin July 23rd. Wow. If Rift doesn't get me demonetized, I don't know what will. All right. So here's some interesting news regarding the Kyoani arsonist. A life was saved in Tottori, Japan, by the same skin transplant. You guys remember there was a risky, what do you want to call it? Like there was a new skin grafting technique that they pioneered by using the actual arsonist, because they're like, well, if he dies, fuck it, who cares, right? So they perfected that technique, and they were actually able to use it to save somebody in Tottori. The question is, when you've been burned that bad, do you want to survive? The jury's still out on that. Once again, I make the same statement about the same picture in every goddamn photo.
$5 super chat from Greenline 743.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you do it. Yuki, will you marry me? Takes a knee. Take him out. What? Oh, I get it. Like somebody at the Olympics is proposing.
Take him out.
I like that. So Big West is going to handle global distribution of post-1987 Macross anime. That's almost all of it, isn't it? When did the first Macross come out? 86? 87? Yeah. Hold on. Anyway, I'll just read it. Like I said, I haven't read any of these. Latest announcement confirms global availability of Macross anime on new YouTube channel. Ooh, on YouTube. Great. How about a physical release, though? Following the bombshell announcement that Big West and Harmony Gold have set aside their legal disputes to clear the way for the global distribution of Macross earlier this month, Big West have issued another update confirming that it will handle the global distribution of all Macross-related visual content, including concerts, music videos, and films, all things I need, well, the films, along with the long-expected TV anime distribution via dedicated social media channels available to everyone in the world outside of Japan. The first pieces of media being made available through these channels is the Super Dimensional Fortress Macross Flashback 2012. What's going on here? Who keeps leaving? Music video collection, originally produced in 1987. The video is embedded below. Yeah, you can watch it right now. The update also confirms that the Modern Era Macross Delta series, fucking finally, and content will be offered on the new social media channels in the future, bridging the gap between old and new. So one of the things that's always been kind of weird for this whole Macross thing is Macross Plus. Like, that's always just kind of been a side thing, you know? Anyway. All right, so the director for Naruto Shippuden and Beck has died. Can't say anything about the guy. He lived, but he lives no more.
For some reason, it keeps moving to this view.
Oh, really? Honestly, my connection may be so bad that I'm dipping.
I was going to say, is it because of my connection?
Yes, it's all your fault.
Yes.
Okay, so Random 11 says black people take up 13% of the population of the United States, not 30%. Not sure what percent of countries in the Olympics though. Yeah, I knew it wasn't actually 30, but I was making a joke. Anyway, they weren't allowed to raise fists before. It didn't stop them from. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Only reason I know is he looks straight up like Josuke. Oh yeah, that's who James Charles is. Yeah, he does kind of look like Josuke. That's an insult to Josuke, unfortunately.
So, I understand like the rage, but you can't like raise your fist like yeah kind of thing.
I'm pretty sure it's.
I know what it
like
is.
Solidarity. You know, I don't think it's like you know. I don't think it's gonna be any of that. But yeah. But it would be really funny. It's like, you know, it's the boxing and the guy does like a straight uppercut and knocks the guy back, and the referee's like, you know, penalty. You know, we
need to like
racial propaganda.
We need to make it our trademark or whatever they call it. Something that's just a very commonly used gesture, and then people have to associate it with us in free advertising.
Are you?
And then people will get banned from, like, I don't know, freaking waving to someone. Hi.
I think anytime you drink G Fuel, you're already in violation of our trademark.
Yep, it's exclusively OCA Podcast move to drink G Fuel and like it.
Yep. You're just gonna have to give me a second here while I bring up that gesture that we're talking about that I just happen to have on hand. This joke is becoming significantly less funny as time goes on, and farther away from the punchline.
I take it you
Oh, that one.
Oh,
there's our hand signs.
By the way, I take it you probably didn't upload those clips I sent you?
I didn't. The entire folder of clips from Filthy Frank, no, because I've heard several stories of people having their channel terminated for having filthy. Yeah, so no, I didn't jump right on that. Anyway, does anybody have pickups that they would like to show?
Here you go. There they went.
There they are. Okay,
I'm still
so
waiting
everybody's
on the Mega Zone.
Yeah. So I have pickups coming to Dan's house because when all those discotheque things were like, oh no, they're going out of print forever, I was like, all right, whatever, and I bought them, and then RHYS stuff is like, we're so happy to see you've made another order without a pre-order in it because everything from all your other orders are just going to ship with those. And I'm like, oh shit. So Dan, expect a big box.
That's
anyway,
fine. I'm still
here we go.
I'm still waiting for an order of mine to ship. I think like 2 of the 3 items are backlogged. So it's like I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
Well, if they see that my orders also go to your house, they might just include it there. That'd be funny.
Maybe.
The one order from RHYS Stuf that was backlogged because of one book that doesn't come out till next month. One of the other items is now out of stock, so I don't know if they held on to one of them.
They held on
my
to
order
it.
specifically.
In fact,
I hope they would. They did because I'm gonna
Yeah.
be pissed if I have to wait even farther. Just because
so not only do they hold on to them, but if you add one to your cart, you can make it like if you get the very last one and all you do is add it to your cart. You don't check out. You just add it to your cart. It'll say out of stock for everybody else.
Because it considers you theoretically someone who bought it.
Yeah. So one time Jimmy G got the last copy of the signed All You Need Is Kill. And he had it in his cart, but he didn't actually want to buy it. So he started asking around and eventually got to me if I wanted it. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. Right. So he took it out of his cart and then it became back in stock and I got it in my cart and got it. So Random 11 says, I got Parasite the Maxim Complete Edition. Dang it. I keep double clicking on stuff because my signal's that bad. I got Parasite the Maxim Complete Edition, AD Police Total Crash, Bubblegum Crisis, and my replacement core box. Oh, there you go. Oh, dang. It's still shit. Sorry about that.
I'm telling you, that's the natural state of it.
Oh, how the turntable. Random 11 previously shitting all over it, and we've convinced him. I'm glad to hear it. All right, so in Kickstarter news, I don't even know why. I can't even tell what's going on because my delay is so bad that I turn off the comment and then like 10 seconds go by and I've like the comment's no longer highlighted on the sidebar, but it's still on the screen. Anyway, all right. So in Kickstarter news, The Girl from the Other Side has 12 days left. They are over 110,000. They're almost $110,000 over their goal. Probably gonna get to like 150,000. I think. What do you think?
Oh, they're not done.
Yeah, they're not done. They still have 12 days left because they're smart. They did the 60.
Why do we keep covering it? Why don't we just be like,
cover it until it ends? Until it ends, because audience members who haven't seen it yet and haven't backed it yet still have an opportunity to. Hey, my boss is calling me. This is great. Go ahead and stall.
I mean, we're not going to talk about it now, but so Reese, did you get to rewatching ReZero?
I did not get to rewatching ReZero.
Now I
probably won't be, to be honest. I know.
You're sinful. I've watched, what is it, 6 episodes of the director's cut, which is the equivalent of 11 episodes, because the first episode was double.
Oh yeah, that's true. 11. You're right.
So the first episode should theoretically be virtually identical.
Yeah.
I mean, it exists. Yeah. So what is it? Next week we're gonna do we're gonna theoretically have watched all of it and then do our watch club.
Mm-hmm. So I've been reading the Slime Light novels, and I finished reading book 6 today, and that's gonna be. I'm thinking that like season 2 part 2 is just that starts airing in July. It's basically just gonna be all just book 6 of the light novels, just because that is so jam-packed with stuff in
So
it.
densely packed.
Yeah.
Oh, here, Daddy's back.
Good news or bad news?
I was just waiting for that call. He always recaps what tomorrow's going to be like before I go out, so that I'm on the same page. Which is just like, because I go and get supplies from his front porch because he lives like down the street. That's how I got this job. I just grab the supplies so he doesn't have to take them to the place where the trucks are. And so he just has me grab them and take them. So it's just like, okay, well, tomorrow you're going to have like, this chemical, that chemical, and then the route and GPS, take those anyway. So yeah. Anyway. All right. So back to this. I'm glad. I don't know what I interrupted, but I'm glad that you guys were able to hold a conversation without me. All right. Here we go. Continuing here. So 8 days left to go. The Revenge of the Shogun Women. Definitely Japanese and not at all exploitative. And also in 3D. Filmed in 3D. Okay. So, Maddox.
Old man, we are aware.
Yes. I do need better internet. So the Metal Panic Maddox 01 Kickstarter will launch at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, April 30th. Right? So that's this Friday.
Metal Skin Panic.
What did I say?
Metal Panic.
Okay. I was panicking.
Not to be confused with full Metal Panic.
All right. So yeah, this will be interesting. So that's gonna launch on Friday. Now I saw this. I thought this was an interesting idea. Good luck finding friends who still have the old games though. There's a Kickstarter going for this thing called Pie Packer. It's an online multiplayer for old retro games. So basically, you can play like an old, wait a minute, that says 16-bit game. What the fuck is this? Are these fake? So when I first looked at it, I thought it legitimately was the, what do you call this cartridge from the old games? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know. But if you want to check it out, it's in the description. It's in the Facebook doc. Anyway, moving on. Okay, here we go. Live action news.
Random 11's asking about the Starlink. Oh,
yeah,
unless you want to cover this
you.
really imminent.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think I don't remember if I told you before, or by you I mean Random 11. But so we looked into it, and they want 129 up front, which is like the monthly cost anyway. So it appears as if, I don't know, you have to subscribe to it without even having the internet until it actually comes to your area or something. Like, I don't know. Like that was my family's problem with it. So my mom's just like,
I'm pretty sure that's how
just wait
Tesla
until
was
it's
too.
like,
Everybody just gave
here.
them $1 million for the car and never got the car. Right? That's how Elon Musk works. He's a grifter. Hey, that joke
Really?
wasn't funny. Okay. No, that was a joke.
Well, I don't know. It could be true, but
like a lame-
I know. As I was
know,
saying it, I'm like, oh shit, this seems almost plausible. Anyway,
but yeah,
Elon
like,
Musk is a wonderful
basically,
man. He's not a grifter, so far as I know. Don't take me to court.
please sponsor us with G Fuel. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Basically, we're just waiting for it to be, I guess, more imminently available before we commit the money to it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, right on. Totally would do this Mario Kart 64 online battle mode. I would not only just do this, I would do it to all of you and lose because of my internet. But I would play that. I would play old Super NES version. Anyway, and I will be able to play this soon because my son's birthday, which is Wednesday, that's a gift I got him. The N64 Mario Kart.
Hold up. Is that an actual thing that, like, it's on the Switch store or something?
No. So that Kickstarter I was just showing says here, he's saying it only does NES, Super NES, Sega, Genesis. So yeah, I don't know. It looked like it had Famicom games or something in there, the Super Famicom, but I'm not sure. I literally forgot that I even added it to there because I just saw it on Kickstarter. Like, oh, that looks cool. And I was supposed to look at it and didn't. Yeah, I had a stroke just now. I'm sorry about that. Okay, moving on. Okay, Kaguya-sama live action film Final hits Japanese theaters August 20th, 2021. I don't even care. Moving on. Rurouni Kenshin Final hits the beginning. A new trailer delves into Kenshin's past. I remember this guy with this super duper tiny little teddy bear sunglasses. With the expression on Sasuke or whoever this is. All right.
He looks like a Gintoki with really bad hair. Yeah.
Although that actually looks a lot like the guy from the what is it called? The Samurai X ones. Anyway. Okay, now the bad news. Netflix's live-action Death Note 2 will, quote, stick to the source material. To which I have to ask, how the fuck are you going to do that?
How? Because you've already broken it off into.
Oh, sorry. Because now we're gonna follow Light Yagami now, and Real L.
Just watch.
Is that what you're telling me?
They migrate to Japan, and they're like, oh, now that we have resided, we now reside in Japan. Let us continue.
What was the girl's name? I know her name's Misa in Death Note, but in the Netflix one, you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, so it's going to turn out that
you'll have to remember.
Well, it opens with him living in Japan from now on. I had to get away from America, so I moved to Japan, and I met an idol there named Misa. I was like, no, they're just starting over.
And I changed my legal last name to Yagami to blend in better as a white man.
Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna read this real quick. So it says here. The writer for the upcoming second live-action Death Note show from Netflix show, you mean movie, with the first being abysmally received and not at all faithful to the source material, though still fucking great. Eat a dick, Rift. No, it is Rift. Okay. No, I liked it. Has promised the second show will be faithful. This is a bad sign, though. Though many are highly doubtful, considering Netflix's tendency to change things for the sake of diversity and inclusion and insert political nonsense where it doesn't belong. Well, I can't wait till their faithful adaptation is he just kills all the white people. The first live-action Netflix film, directed by Adam Wingard, came out in 2017 and was horribly criticized by several review sites. Look, the movie wasn't Death Note, but for what it was a fun watch, and it was hilariously bad in some ways. The film purposely chose a black actor to play the role of L, simply for the sake of diversity. This is the same black actor who Netflix is now using for Yasuke. And also decided to make the main character Light a more pathetic and more afraid character for literally no reason, when he is meant to be cunning yet power-hungry. Despite all the negative reception, a sequel was announced only a year later in 2018. Greg Russo, the writer for the second show, explained this new release will be more faithful. How, though? Here's what he had to say. When asked about the difference between adapting properties like Mortal Kombat and Death Note, Russo answered, quote, "It's funny, because it sounds like a shift in genre, but really, it comes down to the same things. It's about adapting IP. See, these are all bad things when you bring in Mortal Kombat with this. It's about bringing over an amazing piece of fan property and trying to do it right." I'm sorry, a piece of fan property? Are they adapting that fake Dojin of Death Note? He then went on to detail how he's approaching the second Death Note film. He explained, quote, "And Death Note, I'm a huge fan of the manga. I'm a huge fan of the original source material, and I think it's one of the greatest mangas ever written." Improper use of plural. Russo continued, and so for me,
if he woke up and he's like, "It was all a dream. I'm really actually Japanese and live in Japan. My last name's Yagami. What an awful dream I'd had.
I want it to be exactly that recording from the podcast with all of those that you just did in the movie. Yes. I'll have to do if I do a first impressions for the second one is I'll have to watch the Japanese live actions and see if there's ever a moment where the character who plays Light looks like he's waking up, and I'll just play your audio over it. Anyway, Russo continued, and so for me, I didn't play any role in Death Note, the first film that Netflix did. But I came in with kind of a point of view with what I wanted to do in a sequel, and part of that is I wanted to go back to the source material. I wanted to go back to what made the original stuff so great, and so we're doing something really neat with it. He elaborated. Russo concluded, hopefully there will be more info on it soon, but it's going to be ... It's not going to be exactly what you're expecting. And I mean that in a very enticing way.
I believe him.
Yeah. Hypocritically, the writer mentioned on Twitter and above that he's hell-bent on giving Death Note fans something new and unexpected. It's consuming a large part of my life right now. I'm hell-bent on giving DN fans, cringe, something new, exciting, and unexpected. Like blow up. Party favorite.
Why would DN Angel fans care?
It is assumed the second film might be a soft reboot. As for what the Death Note 2 film might look like, we got this covered. A website claims that Netflix wants the movie to be more horror themed this time around. Okay. We got this covered, David James writes. A shift in tone. Yeah. A shift in, you know what's going to make it more like to the roots is if he goes to a concert and it's the song that sounds like they're going, white people, right at the beginning of the show. The opening to Death Note. It's just like, oh, white people.
Maximum the Hormone concert.
The second opening.
Yeah. We got this covered, Dave James writes. A shift in tone might also be an indication that Death Note 2 is a soft reboot, with an entirely new character discovering the notebook and dealing with its consequences. Well, shit. All I wanted to see was more of Light's dad. See, that's specifically what I said. If you didn't name the character Light, and it was after the events of the anime, and it's like, well, Ryuk got bored again and dropped it in America. Let's see how an idiot American would handle this, That's what I wanted to see. That's what I saw. All right. Continuing, we're into streaming news. All sorts of great things. Not at all things that make me mad or will get me demonetized. Children's hero Anpan Man soars to Tubi's streaming service. So I almost didn't share this, but that guy's face is toast. And I thought that was worth sharing. The Adventures of Powdered Toast Man originates in Japan.
I can respect that. I can respect that decision.
Also, Knights of Sidonia unveils a compilation video, a mobile game, and VR plans. Guess what? You can now see everything that there was in the entire 2 seasons of the anime in under 17 minutes right here. They are 17-minute.
Well, that really gives compilation movies a run for their money.
Oh, I can't show this. There's a dick on the screen. I'm kidding. The character looks like a dick. It is actually a tentacle. All right, here we go. Here's the rage-inducing stuff. Video of YouTube CEO being given, quote, the Free Expression Award sows wide hatred. So the Freedom Forum, the Freedom Forum, which was sponsored, note the size, indicates how much money they gave. By YouTube, the signature sponsor, Denizens of censorship haven YouTube have been excoriating a video granting YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki an award for, quote, free expression, leading to many pointing out the award givers being sponsored by YouTube itself, as well as the platform's ridiculous abundance of censorship. Many labeled the awarding to be disingenuous due to the fact that the so-called Free Expression Awards is sponsored by YouTube, as seen on its official webpage. On top of this, hordes of content
the fact
creators
that they don't actually give people freedom.
Well, yes. On top of this, hordes of content creators on the platform are very familiar with YouTube's outlandish levels of censorship, stripping creators of monetization for disagreeing with the CEO's personal politics, or simply no reason at all, not to mention the ceaseless false copyright claims. YouTube has even struck channels for promoting spam links, even when they are quite legitimate and are confirmed to be by official sources. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, but there was I forget if it was Sydney. What's his name? What is Garnt's YouTube name? Gigak. Jeez. Gigak's girlfriend / wife, Sydney. We talked about this a little bit. She was given
girlfriend
a
/
sponsorship.
Wife. It's one or the other.
I don't remember if they've actually. I'm pretty sure he proposed. I don't know if they got married yet. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure
she was given a sponsorship by J-List over a funny, she was basically just supposed to promote the existence of a ridiculous sweepstakes they had. And because the sweepstakes seemed ridiculous, YouTube gave her a strike. Them. Yeah. And then fucking J-List was right there on Twitter saying, excuse you, YouTube. This is a very real thing. We're right here. Who can I talk to get this, taken care of? And they just said, nah, we reviewed it. Your input is great and everything, but we don't. We stand by our bad maneuver. Anyway, all right. So the video, so you can watch it. The downvotes are legendary. And here's the comments. I'm not even gonna read them. But yeah, that's it. I just think it's funny.
YouTube, no less.
Well, of course. They're sponsors. I wonder if it has paid promotion by YouTube. Can you imagine? Because they have to have a paid promotion disclaimer. Paid promotion by YouTube. This video brought to you by YouTube on YouTube. Right, Susan, you're the greatest person in the world. Anyway, yeah. So, do you guys have anything to say about this?
Sounds like a circle jerk to me.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna leave the call for just a second and come back in because my delay is really bad and I don't feel like it has to be this bad.
Well, it was very bad, so bad that it cut him off before he finished, apparently. But a circle twerk.
I hate the premature use.
That's a term I just thought up of when he said circle jerk. But Green Line, you got Lelouch Code Black first live encore version, and I missed that. I was unable to address it earlier because my connection was so AIDS, and I reset my router. But yeah, I pulled up a tab real quick, and that looks like I feel like I've seen that outfit used on a different Clamp character. It looks pretty good.
Back in time.
Yeah, so that's cool.
This feels weird. I came back and a bunch of comments are gone. This comment was
that's just YouTube's freedom of expression, Brad. Get over it.
All right. Well, if I missed anybody's comments, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this, apparently. Once I reach 4,000 hours of podcasts, that's when I will have become a professional of this, according to common nomenclature regarding those things.
By the way,
Old
Man says I haven't looked at Canadian prices, but the email they sent me asked for a $100 deposit, I think. The service isn't supposed to come to my area until the end of the year. I'm going to say that earlier Random 11 said it's 130 Canadian dollars a month and 600 Canadian. Are you sure it's Canadian? I'm pretty sure that's going to be USD, and we're actually going to be paying closer to 150 Canadian. But I don't know. I hope it's Canadian.
Hey, how's my connection? Can you hear me okay?
It exists. Seems
Okay.
though,
Sounds
right?
like my delay has been like negated, like it's gone, right? Now as soon as I say that, the little thing comes up and says 1 bar down on your 2 bars down on your signal. As soon as I acknowledge the lack of delay,
You look
it's like, oh, here, let me
glorious
help
right
you
now
with
in your
Yeah.
video.
that. That's great. Is it the hair or is it the pixel? Is it the 1 pixel covering the
It's your
screen?
pixels.
And
Yeah.
the 3 second delay.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty
that's
bad.
great.
Your
Okay.
pixels
Well,
are so hot.
I was gonna say that I heard Japan and the U.S. are teaming up in a patent of 6G technology. I like how 5G
Already?
didn't even roll out everywhere, and they're like, let's skip it. 6G. All right. So in more streaming news, Slayer's heroine Lena Inverse is set to become a virtual YouTuber. Do you
That
cringe
makes
at
sense,
this
actually.
for this character?
I guess I cringe, yeah.
I don't
Unless
know.
they take the actual voice actor, that would be kind of neat.
It is.
In some ways.
It's the Japanese voice actor. She's singing. It's like a concert. She's going to be singing some songs from the show. Also, I'm pretty sure
contextually and
that
lore speaking, it's cringe because like that's not.
yeah, exactly.
They're not
because it's
from
like a
the
medieval.
medieval
It's like a
times
fantasy
and all.
medieval thing instead of like a
Yeah.
oh, I'm a YouTube influencer.
Superstar.
Yeah. So anyway,
No,
you want to know what's even
wasn't
more
she-
cringe?
What,
Go ahead.
wasn't her whole thing like she was trying to be? I mean, like popular
star?
and well known and wealthy and powerful and all that stuff. So I mean, wouldn't she get into YouTube? It seems like I
Maybe.
think it would be.
I don't know
They
why.
didn't
I don't know why
have
she's
YouTube
streaming
back
from
then.
what I thought was a bathroom.
It looks like a green
kinda
room or
looks like
whatever
a-
they call it.
It probably is, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I've only watched that one episode that Andrew showed us where they ate the fish guy. I think it's like episode 3. Like one of their companions, they just decide to eat because they run out of food because he's a giant fish with legs. Anyway, all right. So I'd like to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it. Anyway, so
Yeah,
what's
it
more
was good.
cringe than this? Boom. Netflix to debut their own anime ambassador virtual YouTuber.
Oh God.
Please note the ends. And when I say ends, I mean it in every capacity of the word.
The
the
Netflix
letter.
So you
users are-
remember our code? Remember that code that that is a reference to the podcast? It's actually just the usage of the letter N. And that's the signal. People are signaling the podcast by utilizing the letter
We're the
N. So
N
here we go.
collectors.
Then okay. Anyway. All right. So yeah. So it says here, many will be wondering if she will speak English or Japanese, and if she will inevitably end up ushering in irrelevant political nonsense into the VTuber medium. Netflix's official anime
No. What
ambassador.
they're gonna do?
Oh
is
fuck,
they're
that's
gonna
tomorrow.
Have,
Yeah.
They're going to have each studio pay up to dub it in a different language live.
Possibly.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like a talk to text and it just plays in every language with a bad Google.
Yeah, I feel like
Anyway,
they
yeah,
really
so that's-
screwed up the design. It's too white. You need to have like just red and black or whatever.
It is. It isn't great. Although I think it's funny that they didn't make her like obviously a adult, because you know how there's always that stuff about like, oh, VTubers look too young, they're too chibi,
I
and
mean,
therefore you're looting them.
Cuties
It's like
is on
nobody's looting
Netflix,
them. Get out of
isn't
here,
it?
you weirdo.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Cuties is on Netflix.
Oh, that's true. Forgot about that. Yeah, so she's the Lolicon ambassador for YouTube.
It's on
Right.
brand at least.
yeah, on brand exactly.
All right, so I saw something interesting. I'll get to it in a minute. I get to make a familiar joke for the podcast that hasn't gotten tired yet. In a minute, we'll get there. Okay. Glad to see my connection holding up. Not really. Here's your chance to sing in Memorial hosted as upcoming film Belle. So FDDNM, take one for the team. Actually, I think RHYS should do it. RHYS is the only one to sing on podcast along with me. I think it would be really funny if RHYS submitted the. So you okay? In the film, at some point, there's going to be a chorus of like thousands of people from all over the world singing. I'm assuming. So you have a chance to be one of those singers. I think it would be really funny if one of us did it and actually got it. I think that would be really funny.
It would be funny, but that requires effort.
Exactly.
That's what you think.
That's a shirt. Just those words. It would be funny, but it would require effort.
One of them demotivational.
Yeah. That'd be really fun. Yeah, I'll just take a stock standard demotivator, one of those ones like the sleeping cat. Just draw it as Reese's eyeball guy just laying there, licking his hand. It would be funny, but it would require effort. Oh, that's great. My Twitter's the tab that broke my internet. Okay.
So judging by Old Man's breakdown, his charges are like $99 and $500. So I assume that the 130 and all that stuff was actually in Canadian. So that's good to know at least. Huh. But I guess I need to have full clarification that that's a deposit, like the 129. But that's kind of weird. Why would you have a deposit? Like if you flake on them, then you just, I don't know, they just don't send you the product.
They just don't. They just, if you flake on them, they just don't. They don't launch the Starlink satellites to send internet to everybody.
The bad apples ruins it for everyone else. No internet.
So in one day, Mugen Train in the U.S. made almost $10 million. Oh, it didn't. I'm happy to have looked over and noticed it didn't actually show this for you. That's fucking great. It's frozen. My screen share is frozen. What is going on? What's going on?
Oh, there you go.
Let me try that again. Okay, it doesn't matter. The words I was trying to explain is that, yeah, Mugen Train, 9,500,000 in one day.
I think
now, I don't know where I found this.
Funimation said it had like 21 million for the entire weekend or something.
Oh, yeah? I'm not surprised. So I want to show you this. Highest grossing R-rated films. Okay.
We're still looking at Twitter.
Are you for real?
Yes.
What are you doing to me? Why are you doing this to me? I closed that tab. It's like I'm doing that thing on cartoons where they like rub their eyes and like, Shout out to Best Girl.
ROM.
Yeah. God
I
damn it!
still
Where
like
is
to think of her as RAM.
There it is.
Because she likes to get RAM.
I like it. I like it as Ram as well because apparently there's another girl named Rome, R-O-M, and I want to think of her as Rom. And then I can't wait till Rim shows up. And then his drinking buddy Rum. All right. So here's the highest growing R-rated movies. So Matrix Reloaded, right behind Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and Joker. It apparently, for some reason, was a high-grossing movie. Passion of the Christ. 50 Shades of Grey couldn't quite beat out the Jesus flick. Anyway, down here, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train, right below The Last Samurai, which itself is right below 300. I just thought these were some interesting.
It did beat The Exorcist. It was below The Exorcist before this weekend.
I mean, it also beat Terminator: Rise of the Machines. Oh, here, I just refreshed it. Now it's above Last Samurai.
Wait, hold on. You said this was top grossing rated R movies, right?
R-rated movies, yes.
So my question, okay, so obviously Mugen Train came out in the States, rated R, right? I mean, that's why it's
Yes.
on that list, and our tickets
Rated
said
R.
that it was rated R.
But when we got to the end of the movie, it said like PG-12.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say. Like, what was its Japanese
Basically
rating?
PG-13 in Japan.
Yeah.
PG-13 in Japan, or
I couldn't
Well,
believe
R
it. They didn't even
attracted
drop an
more
F-bomb
viewers.
or something. Like,
What's the next category? The R-rated animated films.
R-rated animated. Oh, yeah. So it's now at the top here. There you go. There you go,
with the
Mugen Train.
with the commanding
Your
lead.
name is not even on the list. What's up?
With the
Yeah,
commanding
sausage-
lead over Sausage
The
Party.
commanding lead, yeah.
I'm surprised that movie made any money whatsoever.
Right?
Well, technically, it shouldn't even be on the list if you want my opinion. So theoretically, no, it wouldn't be the highest rated animated R-rated.
Well, okay, so if in Japan it was rated, what would you say the
Oh,
equivalent?
that's
of
true, though.
PG-13?
Your name's not rated R, so it wouldn't be on the list anyway. That makes sense.
Well, okay, I guess what I'm getting at is why the hell was Mugen Train rated R in America?
Right, yeah.
Does anyone know?
Because of the scene, the scene in the dream with the bloody house and stuff.
Yeah, but
I can see that. That's the only thing really.
I don't know.
PG-13.
I don't think maybe.
Maybe because he was like decapitating himself over and over again.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So
But it didn't
Yeah.
actually. Spoilers! Spoilers! Spoilers!
Don't say it.
It didn't actually show that. Just the
no,
I
it
was
was
like,
probably
oh,
the
that's what he
hardcore
has to
sex scene between
Yeah.
the two. Just throw that out there. Blow their records off with the 9 people watching who go see it because of that non-spoiler I threw in there about the 6.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
No,
Okay.
I just
Yeah,
like the movie. The movies to me didn't seem like it earned an R rating.
No,
Like,
it didn't. I agree. It didn't.
It would
I almost
probably
feel
be
like it's a gimmick.
14A.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
it
yeah,
was
but
kind of,
do you think they just did that to somehow actually attract more viewers? Because
maybe
it's gonna be
what if they
really
put it? What? No, for real though. What if they rated it R in the U.S. exclusively to be the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time for animated?
maybe.
Because they already had the commanding lead from the international sales. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Anyway.
filmmaking companies or whatever do like these circle jerk awards a lot. So
It's going
I
to be
wouldn't put
funny
it
when
past them.
Ava comes out over here and it's only PG-13 and it has another jerk-off scene in it. That's going to be fun.
The whole movie
So
is
Abe-
just one like hour and a half jerk off scene.
It's Shinji just edging for an hour.
True masterpiece, the final film. With such a final conclusion. The climax, one might say.
Oh gosh. Who cares about spoilers? It's fucking Demon Slayer.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So Onion Warlock, great name, says they watched Demon Slayer movie illegally, so they watched it sub. I'm sorry that you had to sit through that cam rip that I also downloaded.
I watched it legally and I watched a sub too.
I'm just
you
waiting
know-
for the Blu-ray.
I watched it dubbed because I watched the series dubbed. I don't think that dub really has anything going for it, to be honest. I kind of wish I'd seen it subbed. But I also got up for work at 5 that day and saw the movie at 8 p.m., so I'm kind of glad I didn't see it subbed. Surprised that I actually managed to make a video out of that. Berserk movie trilogy would probably be rated. Yeah, but that's going to be on
It'd
the
also
list
probably
of
make
most grossing
$1
R-rated
because of the
movies.
CG.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 sells over 5 million tickets in Japan in a 1 month and a half, which I think is funny because I feel like in the weekend in the U.S., Demon Slayer already did that, kind of thing. At least,
That's a lot of corny
I will
Japanese
it cost me a fucking fortune to buy those tickets. Like they are
You
really
might as well buy
cranking
an Aniplex full for the amount you're paying for movies nowadays. It seems.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like I expect to spend. I basically put down like a 10% down payment or like a 20% down payment on the Aniplex
Demon
movie
Slayer
set.
house.
Yeah, with how much it cost me to buy those tickets, which I'm happy to do. Don't get me wrong. You know, like I'm not complaining that I had to pay to go see a movie or anything. I'm just shocked at how expensive movies are these days.
How much was it?
It was like $32 for Dan and I.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was really shocked. And I had the option to go to the XD experience, which I guess has 11.1 surround, but I chose not to because I vowed never to go to an IMAX C style gimmicky screening for. Although I will say that there was one part in the Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie where they're on the top of the train and a character is drawn without a face because they're far enough back that it would make sense to. And it didn't feel jarring in this movie because they were small enough on screen that it made sense versus all the other movies doing when I saw where that was so jarring. Anyway, so there's the stuff about Ava. Moving on. There's a new Madoka Magica movie coming out called Walpurgis no Kaiten. God knows what that means in German / Germanese.
Interestingly enough, I just brought up that I'd read book 6 of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. There's a gathering called the Walpurgis, and that it's a gathering of the demon lords.
Well, that's interesting. Thank you for having our German scholar on tonight.
Yeah.
To let us know. That's a fun accident.
So,
all right, what detective?
Walpurgis is like a gathering kind of like of evil kind of thing.
The Walpurgeist. Butt detective cracks the case.
Oh, that explains.
Good.
Isn't that what the subtitle or not subtitle, but like the Bible Black? Isn't it like called like the Walpurgis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they incorporated that word into Bible Black somehow, and now that makes all kinds of sense.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm glad that our German expert and our filthy porn expert were here to connect all these dots for us tonight.
It's almost as if they're a detective.
Oh shit! That's this Friday too. Walpurgis is Friday the 30th, April 30th.
Oh god! But detective cracks the case in the third anime theatrical film. When we'll get them over here, God knows. Speaking of cracking butts,
I feel like it said that every article does.
Speaking of cracking butts, boys love manga Dakaichi Spain arc to get a film adaptation this autumn. Now, if you hands. Ever, okay, it's not just the hands.
It's not
just the hands, guys. It's not just the hands. There is something so alien and unappealing. Is this what women want? Women want these giraffes. There's only one thing women want, and it's
FDDNM. Get on it. Make you creation.
Yeah, I need to take advantage.
We need to just Photoshop the shawl. What the fuck is that? A goddamn? Is that a scarf? He looks like the fucking Virgin Mary, like this holy garment blowing in the wind. All right.
Well, anyway, he won't be a Virgin Mary for long.
Oh! Detective Conan the Scarlet Bullet earns 144% of the previous film on its first day.
Jesus Christ.
So I actually don't know if they're just going first day to first day. It's a lot less impressive. But the Scarlet Bullet film makes record-breaking 2.2 billion yen in first 3 days. You know what? This is like when you're measuring, the the Baseball
dong?
Hall of Fame records. Yes, your dong. When you're measuring your dong, and all of a sudden you get an erection for the first time, you're like, it's off the chart. No, when you're measuring the Baseball Hall of Fame records, and you have to take into consideration the fact that some of the records were set with a wooden bat, right? Okay. All right, it wasn't that funny. Oh man, what is this butt detective gonna outsell Demon Slayer? Hey man, I don't know a butt detective well, but the investigation of the anus in the BL, whatever that was called.
Butt detective on case.
Investiganus?
So this
Anyway.
sounds like case closed to me.
Oh.
Oh god. Oh. Okay.
Next
All
week
right,
on the
so,
next week on the OCA podcast, asking me.
Yeah. So anyway. So what I was trying to say is, I wonder if the power scaling due to COVID is going to just destroy records left and right. It's like turns out there's really nothing special about Demon Slayer, as we all suspected. Literally any film coming out there would have just done the same. Yeah. Oh God. Old man, you're describing what's going to happen as everything becomes more and more woke. Yes, that is going to happen. That is happening. That's happening right now. Did you see? Did you or did you not see the R-rated list I had where it beat Last Samurai and 300 and is about to beat Lucy? Yes, that's happening. That's happening.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, I don't really want Demon Slayer to be the thing that takes that top spot. Like, could something good come out and like do that? You know?
Demon Slayer wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but it was like
that.
It wasn't good, you know. Like it was right on the line of eh. Okay. Also, farewell, my dear Kramer. The film's theater goers are going to receive Manga Volume 0 as a bonus.
Well, you're gonna have to see that movie 15 times.
Why is that?
To get that many extra volumes to collect and scalp.
I guess, yeah. You could just see it twice. Anyway,
No,
all right.
$2 super chat from Greenland 743 replying to Dan Maniculture.
What?
You're being acknowledged for being a man of culture.
I'm very familiar with culture. I could talk about culture all day.
It's too bad there aren't any women of culture to talk with you.
Yeah, well, they exist, so I'm told.
All right, here we go. The World Ends With You. TV Anime shows off its new creditless OP. You'll recall the original theme got yeeted for having the association of a drummer for some, was it drugs? What was it? Cocaine? I don't even remember. He did something that they didn't. Did we find out actually what he did? Do you recall?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't recall.
Oh no, we're watching a battle happen in our midst. Hey, Hollow, I hate to break it to you, but Greenline already gave us $5 earlier tonight.
Actually, it's $7. Yeah, so you're talking $7 now. So, yeah.
Sorry, Hollow. By the way, Hollow, we're doing ReZero tonight. More specifically, we're going over. We've watched the first half thanks to your influence on the show. Loving it so far. Probably the best show I've seen on the podcast, other than maybe JoJo. But that kind of it's like apples to oranges there, because you're comparing the entirety of JoJo to the 6 or what have I seen? So 12 and a half episodes. No, 6 and a
11.
half because of the director's cut. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, I've watched the first half of season 1. We're going to finish it up and do our discussion next podcast. And if you are available, We would love to have you join us. What is going on? Why is this not switching for me? My internet is so bad.
It's
What?
That was when I said,
What did I miss
don't
here?
recall.
I missed that. Also, thanks for the $4.99. I appreciate it, man. Okay, where was I? So we didn't learn what this guy did, right? We just knew that he got canceled for some reason. The not Hollow, the drummer for the band that did the opening, right? So here's the thing. The reason I'm asking, yeah. Okay, here we go. Mere hours before the debut of the first episode of The World Ends With You, the animation, Square Enix had to change the opening theme song due to the arrest of drummer Kahadio from the band Ali. Now, following the first episode's opening to Leia's Calling animation OP version, okay. As the second episode, the new OP is the game's main theme, Twister anime OP version. And now you can see how the show kicks off its credits. Okay, so I'll just say this. We discussed this. Like, yeah, you could get a song with certain beats per minute kind of effects. It syncs up really well, like the animation to the new song. So here's the thing. I don't know if it's why he's got yeeted, but I have an answer to what he did, or to one of the things that he did, which we're going to cover later in the podcast. It's the only reason. What in your appetite? All right, so continuing here. I'm Tsushima the Cat anime is set for July 1st. No, is set for July 1st promo debuts. All right, so here you go. Tsushima the Cat anime adaptation. Yeah. This cat reminds me of my cat a lot. May he rest in peace.
Oh.
It turns out it's literally just Japanese Garfield. Restaurant to Another World anime season 2 announced. So there you go. There's a season 2.
Cool. I'll watch
By the
it.
way, I can't remember if it was last podcast. I think it was when I was talking about AIC. We were talking about that last podcast, right?
Did we?
And I
Did
was
I
saying,
miss
like,
that
didn't-
article?
This article? Or
No,
me
the
talking about
AIC one, because I know I linked
So-
it, but I don't remember.
I was talking
about
about AIC for some reason. It was relating. Yeah, you linked it. Yeah, it was the thing about.
was it AIC is going to merge with some other company, and that will actually like see their old IPs or whatever getting continuations like Tenchi and stuff?
Yes. So I had brought up, wasn't AIC the Pokemon company? No. OLM. That's the one I was trying to say. OLM. They both had 3-letter initialisms, so I got them confused. Anyway, so just clearing that up, making a correction from last podcast. All right, this one I'm really excited for. Skeleton Knight in Another World light novel series gets TV anime. Yes. I will watch the shit out of this. This looks amazing. I think it's weird, though, because I don't want the other world to be him coming to the real world with humans. You know? Like, it's weird that he's in another world because he already came from a different world. You know what I mean?
This feels like an Overlord ripoff.
I'll still watch.
Visuals remind me of Grimoire of Zero because you have this big swole guy and this small dainty girl.
Why is Anime Me raping this girl?
Yeah, I'm wondering, hey, is
like
this movie like a Berserk spin-off? You know, the Skull Knight?
Oh, yeah,
Berserk?
Skull Knight. Fashionably late. He goes to another world to Mickey D's. That's an inside joke only Dan and I get. I'll have to link that in the Discord later.
Yeah. Fashionably late. What could possibly have happened?
Yeah, I'll link that in the Discord so you guys get the joke. It's an old. Was it called Skull Knight's a Dick?
Yeah.
Skull Knight's a dick. So. Yeah, when Skull Knight shows up to save Guts and all them from the apocalypse, and he goes, "Skull Knight arrives fashionably late. What happened to you?"
Oh well.
Okay,
He talks about
Onion
cosplay.
Warlock.
He's like, oh, well, you know, women these days they make up story. Oh, she's
Jujutsu
leaking.
Kaisen is going to get a movie.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen will get a movie. Holographic says he'd be down. All right, cool. That sounds good. We'll try to make it a little bit less. How do I put this? No notice whatsoever given next time. We'll try to work around your schedule a little bit. Yeah, I'll definitely hit you up. I'll hit you up, buddy. And Green Line. I see when I was clicking on that, I thought they were boxing gloves. I was like, all right, I'm gonna don't know more.
So he's saying holographic is the devil, or he's insinuating that he has evil plots against Hollow.
So yeah, are you talking about the line art for this? Because yeah, it is pretty good. I'm amazed at how like zoomed in it is and still holding up its fidelity.
That could just mean that it's in 16K.
It could be. Anyway, looks cool. Talks about the use of CG in the show. Are we referring to this show or Overlord or what do you call
ReZero.
it? Maybe Berserk or ReZero? Yeah, because I was quite disappointed with ReZero's use of CG in the sense that whoever was like the director had this like they had this thing where they went to their underlings and said, what's the point of even having a CG model in the background if he's not moving? Just throw some mocap shit on it, right? And he's moving at 30 frames per second instead of 12, right? And they're all just like doing a generic NPC idling animation.
You'd
and
think
it
that
stood out
Subaru would
so bad.
point that out with his astute observation skills.
Did you see my tweet when I said that I like how when Amelia and Subaru went to the poor district to find Flint, that the people there couldn't afford to be CG in the background anymore?
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. I don't remember who brought this up one time, but somebody asked about if Komi Can't Communicate was going to get an anime series. Rumor. Web domain has been registered for Komi Can't Communicate anime series. So a rumor on Twitter is saying that a domain has been registered to use as a website for an anime adaptation of Komi Can't Communicate. According to the Twitter user Manga Mogura RE, a domain has been registered that indicates an anime adaptation of Komi Can't Communicate may be in the works. No fucking doubt. It's really popular. Everybody loves it. The domain name, komisanofficial.com, currently leads to a prompt to log in, likely for the site owner and web developers. The series follows the titular code. We don't need to read about that. Anyway, yeah, so I think it's very likely. Even if this is a bullshit website, because I am the fact that it says komisofficial.com and not like .com/JP or anything like that kind of makes me feel like maybe it's not legit. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But I think it'll get an anime regardless. It's not like Yotsuba, where we're just never going to get an anime. Anyway, Renaissano's sweet manga Daimon is announced for an anime adaptation. So there you go. That's the thing. Moving on. I'm supposed to be in bed in 15 minutes, but it ain't going to happen. Moriarty, the Patriot TV anime, enlists the help of Bondi, James Bondi, in a new character. So there's a character in the show named James Bondi.
James Bondage?
No.
Yes. We've got Jack Renfield, Von Herter, Zach Patterson. None of these are as interesting as James Bondi. Anyway, that's the thing. Moving on. Hey, guess what? Key crossover anime, Kaginato, will feature Clannad, Air, Canon, and others. So
all the important ones.
Said to have begun as an April Fool's joke, it has been announced that various key works will be collaborating together for a special anime in the same vein as Isekai Quartet, bound to be great for those desiring to feel nostalgic, as characters from shows such as Canon, Clannad, Air, Little Busters, and Rewrite will be present. Announced during KSL Online 2021, the new anime will be called Kaginato, and there is now even an official website. Shows such as Canon, Clannad, great. We're going to just list these again. That's fucking wonderful. Great job padding out this article to have the same thing in there twice. Considering the anime will likely feature chibi visuals, watchers can expect the anime to perhaps possess a comedic focus instead of a somber. Yes, I can't wait till everyone dies.
In chibi.
Chibi. Whew. The Dango family comes and crushes them all. All right. My Hero Academia subs changed Vanta Black's name, possibly to avoid legal issues. So there's a character in the show called Vanta Black. They call him Vanta Dark in the subs. Even though it's pretty obvious they're saying Vanta Buraku in the Japanese audio. So this person had this to say. Earlier today, an apparent localization issue was brought to my attention concerning My Hero Academia, specifically concerning Shihei Kuroiro's superhero name, Vanta Black, being changed to Vanta Dark. At first, I dismissed this as just another example of translator incompetence, but then it occurred to me that this might be one of those bizarre cases where it's not a matter of not getting it right because of carelessness. Look, when the Japanese guy is saying Vanta Buraku, there's no fucking way that you got it wrong because of carelessness. There's no way. You can't be careless and translate Buraku as dark. That ain't happening. Anyway, yeah, so it seems like it is a thing. They go on to talk about how when Biohazard, which we know in the United States is Resident Evil, was coming over here, there was a band called Biohazard, so they had to call it Resident Evil. Same thing with Dragon Quest. We had to call it Dragon Warrior originally because there was a role-playing game called Dragon Quest. So it's basically that. They're just talking about that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I think Vanta Black may be trademarked. Vanta Black is that extremely dark black paint that sucks up so much light that effectively it looks just like matte, like a matte black background, which if you could do that with green, damn, green screens would be easy to light.
Huh. Yeah.
Because all you got to do is, light your characters well and then, take out the black background through it or whatever. Because it'll be the same shade. Anyway, it wouldn't actually work that way, but whatever. All right, so that's the thing. So I don't actually care about this. Nagatoro subs using the word sus. Is this something you guys want to talk about?
Well, briefly. So as you can see, clearly sus is big in Among Us, in the whole Among Us community. So when they see sus, they think, oh my God, these people are trying to be, the thing
it's
that
hello, fellow kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you said that Dakota Broski was saying that the manga says it as well, but
so he made a video on Twitter that it said, me when I learned that people are complaining about the word sus being in the Nagatoro. I always want to call it Nazi Toro and insert real word there. So I'm trying really hard not to make that mistake. But he said that he basically was prefacing saying, me when I hear people complaining about this. And then in the video, it's him running up to his bookshelf going, it's in the manga. And then it ends before you see it or whatever. So I don't know. But this isn't something I really care about. But I did look at it briefly. And it seems that... they say, I kind of think it's a great translation since the original script is, what is this, Kyoto-ru? Yeah, that's Ru. Kyoto-ru is also slang and a shortened form of this, which is kanji, and I don't know how the pronunciation would be, which is acting suspiciously. So they're saying that if you take the actual Japanese phrase and convert it to this shorthand form, to say somebody's being suspicious, that acting sus is actually a perfect match, right? Which I'm cool with. I think it's an appropriate translation. But I think that just because it is an appropriate translation doesn't mean that it's not going to distract the audience when they read the translation, because it's going to take them out of the show for a minute and go like, why the hell is this line that was popularized in Among Us being thrown in there. You know what I mean? Like, even if that's not what they're doing, I think that the choice of using it, even if it's an accurate translation, actually disrupts the flow of watching the episode.
You think they could have used something like what? You're acting strange, and it would have had the same effect?
I don't know. I think that this isn't that big of a deal, this particular one. I think that the hiccup of watching the show does happen when you think, wait a minute, what? Among Us? Why? But it's not big enough that it's going to take you out of the whole experience of watching it.
Well, I have
and I do think that they...
With Onion Warlock, he says, sus, yes, Among Us. Among Us reference every episode. Now, what do you mean? Is it in every episode? Do they say this? Like, can you let us know? Because the thing I was going to say is that if this is like the exception, not the rule, then yeah, ultimately this isn't that big a deal.
Well, real quick, sorry. Randall Lemon said, same with Pokemon versus Pocket Monsters. So yeah, that's an interesting concept. I don't think that we couldn't call it Pocket Monsters. I think we just called it something that would be more marketable in the West when they did that. I'm not sure though. And then we're having the fight about that show referring to Skeleton Knight. I haven't watched the trailer, so maybe it does have bad CG. And then Jason's House says, "Don't do this. Don't give hope of season 3 of Clannad, bruh." I don't think I could handle a season 3 of Clannad.
I could if it was just slice of life with no drama. I mean, that would be cool
I was going to say, like, I don't think I'm going to get that. I think they're just going to undo they already undid, and then I'll just be ruined.
You mean they'll Steins Gate Zero you?
Yeah, effectively, yes. Anyway, and I thought this is a great comment here. I don't think CG is always bad, but good CG is CG barely noticeable. Yes. For those of you who don't know, if you're new here, I am a certified professional in Autodesk Maya. I have a degree in animation. I work in the VFX industry, integrating movie like CG generated effects into movies and whatnot. And that's the problem with being a CG artist, is that your job is done well when people didn't notice you did it at all. So yeah, effectively, yes. And then, I like that comment a lot, actually. The show should be called I Can't Believe It's Not Hentai. Are you talking about Nazi Tor? I'm trying so hard not to say. Anyway, yeah. Nagatoro never said sus in the manga. All right. Again, I think Dakota Broski was making a joke, but I didn't follow up on the tweet far enough to like fully understand the reference or whatever. And I haven't watched it. Also, Reynolds says sus anime, masochist hentai. Are we talking about Ram? Popularized by Among Us is a bit far. Sus has been slang for suspicious forever. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the thing though, is that words that exist that you hear and have an association to a very specific place ruin your usage of that word in other ways, right? Like when a character has a catchphrase that you don't hear everywhere, like the word in Japanese "fuyukai desu," how unpleasant. That's a catchphrase that the girl in Beyond the Boundary says all the time. Now, it's a phrase. It's kind of like the girl Betty and Beatrix in ReZero. What did she say? I suppose. Mm-hmm. That's what she said. So it's kind of used in that same way. It's like the word "I suppose" isn't unusual, right? It's a regular word. But if you heard somebody in another context after you've watched ReZero recently say something and then say "I suppose" at the end, it would have this weird connection where, like, your brain, the neural pathway is going to run you right back to Betty.
You would laugh for a second. It was like, huh.
Yeah, well, you would your brain would lag. You would lag as your brain takes a detour over to Betty's secret room, library room, right? Her multi-purpose room, or they called it. Your brain would go there and like, whoa, wait a minute. That guy was. This is a normal thing to say, but for some reason my brain took me here. So it's kind of like that with Among Us and the word getting popularized. Is that it's kind of like you can't avoid
Can't unsee it.
Yep. Anyway, no, there was a Pocket Monsters trademark in US. Wow, I didn't know that. I saw this. I saw that sus in the sub. Looking back, yeah, I think it would. Hello, fellow kids. Yeah, I can see why people would think that, and that's the thing is like even if it's accurate, unless you put a damn translator's note up there like a fucking fan subber, you know. Lord help these people when they learn that sus has been used for like 200 years. Yeah. Look, I think that this is why I always talk about not taking on labels, because then you respond as a member of the group instead of as an individual. I think these people are jumping on the bandwagon and responding as a member of the group. Like, oh, we're against the hello fellow kids or politicization or improper localization or whatever, and therefore I'm going to autistically screech when I hear it, you know? Now, I do think it takes you out. There are some things like, for instance, when Sankaku Complex covered this, they talked more. They said Localizer goes on tirade defending use of sus and cringe in anime subs. So this is about the House Hunting Dragon, right? About that's the other show where they use the term cringe. What'd you call it? Shanked by a rando in slime, you know? Like, there is something jarring about that. Like, you know, the only anime that can get away with using internet slang
rant last time. It's even deeper than that.
Well, the only show I think that can get away with internet slang is Steins Gate.
Steins Gate.
Yeah, I don't want to hear somebody say LOL in an anime. You know, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear them say top keck or wrecked or GG bro or something. I don't want to hear that shit in anime. I don't want to hear it. Okay? Like, I'll legit cringe into an early grave when I hear that shit. So I get where they're coming from, you know? And I think that there is this weird divide because internet culture doesn't translate outside of the internet. Like the internet, it has this weird divide that should, I think, be there, you know, between real life and the internet. I don't think that bridging the gap has ever been done successfully.
Bridging the gate.
I think I'll rephrase that. I think the one place that it was bridged properly and effectively was in the Sonic movie when the crazy guy is talking about the Blue Devil and he pulls up the Sonic drawing. Right? That was the one time that it effectively bridged that fourth wall and was funny, right? All right. There literally is a thing in England called the sus law. Okay, nobody on this podcast is arguing that it's not a word, just for the record. In the States, I have never used the word sus, but then again, I am an old man. Well, I'll agree. I've never ever used the word sus. I don't shorten my words very often though. I write the word okay is OKAY because fuck you if you shorten it to 2 letters, right?
I told my mom to stop texting me just the letter K because it sounds so I don't know, passive or whatever. Like
she just texts back scene, right?
Just don't put 3 of them in a row.
Yeah, well, that's
that was so great, dude. I said that to my wife. We were watching ReZero last night, and it got to the part with Rem and Ram's backstory, and I'm like, "Oh shit, the clan!" They show up to take over. Random Blow says, "Oh man, translator notes and fan subs. That takes me back to watching Bleach and needing to pause to read the paragraph at the top of the screen on why they translated a specific attack name." Yeah. Japanese use LOL too. I don't care if they use it. I don't want to hear people say it. See, it's one thing to read it, but hearing people say it is such cringe.
Well, I guess I'm a cringe lord, but what is it? So the thing is, if they in the Japanese source material have lol as the context, then I don't care if they use lol as the translation.
Look, Random 11 has brought up the greatest counterpoint. Yes, Sonic was funny, but Sonic flossing was cringe. doing the Fortnite dance. Yeah, I totally agree. We used to use KK as SMS slang for OK, but it's a bit dangerous if you accidentally hit an extra key. Yeah.
Well, my brother always does that, so he's quite dangerous.
The acronym Save the Ship, SOS, is also ruined. Isn't
it Save Our Souls?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's not ruined the way wow. Is it? I don't know. Elaborate on why it's ruined. Are you talking about because it's close to sus? Oh, anything closely related is also so sus. So yeah, cis, kiss x cis is now ruined. Only using K is supposed to be passive aggressive. At least that's what he heard. Okay.
Exactly. That's why I told my mom to stop to write out OK.
Save our souls. There you go. Yeah. All right. Look, Onion Warlock, they think it's Save Our Souls. I'm pretty sure that's what you meant.
Or maybe it's a Canadian interpretation. You never know.
Yeah, because the Canadians don't have any ships. Ooh, shots fired. Okay, anyway, yeah, I actually don't care about this. I'm not going to bother to read it. But there you go. Well, okay, so again, I'll read this part. They talk about the translation for this joke in Parasite, a movie that sucked, even though I was hoping it was going to be really good. Where they talk about how they changed the school from Seoul National University to Oxford in order to have the target English audience better understand the joke. Okay, just so that we're abundantly clear, totally on board with localization. Love localization. Total minority for most people who have similar thoughts to me on anything else. Think localization is the way to go when you're translating. Don't agree with the political localization and the Gamergate weird lines that Jamie Markey had to jerk off into some of those lines, but I do agree that localization is better than direct translation, which is also why I think Demon Slayer's dub kind of sucks, because I feel like it's I think Aniplex is holding them to a more standard, Google Translate than a localization. Anyway.
Well, Random 11 got us banned.
No. That's all right. All right, it doesn't matter. I still can't believe Kiss X's got licensed here. I can, and that's why I pre-ordered that shit, so that they'll have to get the rest of it instead of just the OVAs.
Also, apparently JT Master on Twitter is buying Digimon cards and stuff as well. Yeah, I can't find any of the first set for retail price. It's stupid. I think it's just because there's no supply and so much demand. I did get the first 2 Japanese boxes back last year, though, so I have my stonks ready. My card stonks.
All right, here we go. Did my connection get really bad all of a sudden?
I mean, yes, but My Little Monster, we'll have to see.
Oh, there you go, yeah. Okay. Sci-Fi Revival Nighthead 2041 plans on manga, a book, and stage adaptations. But apparently not animes. Not further animes. Even though it looks like it says TV anime right here. So who knows?
That looks like a Persona 4 Yu Narukami main character right there, except with more detail in his hair.
See, when I think of yaoi, this is what I think of. I don't think of monsters with enormously long necks and huge hands, like apparently the female crowd wants.
You just think of pretty boys? What about Nighthead 2077?
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I can't find the first set for any less than triple the retail value, which is 280 is the lowest I found. That's Canadian dollars, though.
That doesn't seem worth buying. Jujutsu Kaisen manga boasts another 5 million copies printed and sold in less than a month.
I still have to get to the episodes where it apparently gets any good.
Oh, shots fired.
How far are you?
I'm still at episode 4. You told me, Reese, you're like, well, it's about to a thing's gonna happen or whatever, right? And I'm like, okay.
No, that thing.
Yeah.
So, Final Attack on Titan manga volume is going to come with the original drafts in Japan, at least.
Which will
So-
become valueless once everyone has it.
Konami files 2 new trademarks for Castlevania and Metal Gear Rising. While the trademarks were officially filed on April 6th, the Trademark Watch website has only now released the information about Castlevania and Metal Gear Rising trademarks to the public. Konami has not yet made any announcements regarding any new titles coming for either of these franchises. Bet you it's a reboot. Or a remake. Anyway. PlayStation backtracks on the PS3/Vita PlayStation Store shutdown.
Yes. They realized that, we're kind of screwing up here. But the funniest part is that they didn't back down on the PSP store or whatever getting shut down. But everyone's like, yeah, game preservation. Don't get rid of it, you pieces of garbage. And they listened under the pressure, I guess. So that's cool. I just want them to actually, support it on the modern consoles. So it's like, oh, I can play my PlayStation 3 or Vita games on my PS5.
Yeah, that would be nice. So, 1987 OVA Toy, based on the life and abuses of Ron Toy, is getting a Blu-ray in Japan. 34 years after its original.
Never heard of it, but that's cool.
Looks quite yaoi, so I hope you enjoy it. I don't know. Might not be. That looks like it's a lady. Right? I don't know.
That's a skirt,
I don't know what it
man.
is. I don't know anything. Ask Justin Savakes about it. He was tweeting about it the other day. Anyway, Sentai Filmworks adds My Little Monster anime.
I'm so
Didn't we already
happy
get
to
this
see
over here by somebody else?
Yeah, NIS America, and then they, got, I don't know, they went silent and then stopped making things, but now they're
Man.
resurging. But I guess
Look at
some of
these
their
shirts I could
licenses
find.
expired.
Why has this guy got his cock out?
That's the whole point of the show is that.
Oh, look, My Little Monster.
Gives
But
My
dude-
Little Monster a whole new meaning.
Dude, I would be so stoked if Sentai dubbed this. I loved this show.
All right, moving on. Okay, Viz and Marvel are teaming up to release Deadpool Samurai manga and more in English.
Well, that took long enough. All right, next.
This will be Viz's highest.
Wouldn't it be
selling
funny
manga.
if Disney wanted to release it in a comic book form
You.
instead of
God.
graphic novel form? Anyway, there you go. Moving on. Yen Press announces new licenses releasing this year, so I've got them here. Look.
Is it the Konosuba manga?
No, it's the Yen Press is releasing the tabletop RPG rulebook for Konosuba.
Oh,
That's what that is. So there you
man,
go.
that's kind of neat. I didn't know that existed.
It's a good thing I
You don't
totally didn't have Hide All Adult on.
I noticed that.
Wait, actually, I think I did. No, I did have it on. I just saw I just saw something that was an adult that might as well have been and got confused, aka Juden-chan.
They have a hybrid pack for that thing.
Yeah,
I don't
with
like
Rio Rainbow
where they're
Gate.
going with this.
I don't know what Media Blasters is doing. Anyway, so the Konosuba tabletop RPG. This thing where the guys look like weirdly drawn Leonardo DiCaprio's.
I gotta step away for a second. Your dog's acting up.
Teach that bitch a lesson. So this one's called New York, New York. This one is the hero laughs while walking the path of vengeance a second time. Okay. Also, this one, Orc Guts. Damn it, Dan left. He just left. We'll come back to that one. The other worlder exploring the dungeon light novel. I kept pressing the 100 million button and came out on top. Okay. So I'm a spider, so what? The Daily Lives of Kumoko Sisters. Okay. And
Boomers
also
is-
this. Is it wrong to kill girls in a dungeon or whatever you call
As
it?
I call it, yes.
Yeah. And then the detective is already dead. Reign of the Seven Spellblades. The Abandoned Empress, Volume 1. And Never Open It, the Taboo Trilogy.
And Requiem of Chungus.
So tell me, doesn't this guy look like an orc version of Guts? Like if Guts got bit by a zombie,
By an
And
orc
turned-
zombie?
yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't it look like Guts? And this
Yeah.
is Puck, who also
wow.
is a character in ReZero, apparently.
And is the bottom left guy that demon guy that I just barely know who he is?
SOS is not an acronym. It is an initialism. We've been over this, JT Master. I'm
What?
sorry, this is Random 11. My apologies. Wiki says SOS doesn't mean anything. It's not an abbreviation or acronym, but save our ships and save our souls are two common false attributions of letters. Interesting. Because if it was an acronym, we would call it SOS, not SOS. Trying to look up how much the first booster for Dragon Ball Super cards goes for. No. Nobody needs those. Those deserve to be
I'm
destroyed.
shocked that the Dragon Ball Super game is so big. Like, I had the opportunity to get the first Flesh and Blood set, but I'm like, I don't care about this. And now it's like over $1,000 or something.
All right, Onion Warlock, we're learning with you. Hey Dan, check out Zombie Orc Guts from Berserk here.
And Puck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's exactly him.
Yeah, he's got the long hair for some reason. Just change it so that the teacher doesn't find out. Right? Kind of. You know. Now he's an orc and he has a ponytail.
And that's Elf Archer on the right from Goblin Slayer.
This one.
Yeah.
And then what is that, Saber there?
Casca.
Yeah.
White face Casca.
God.
Okay.
Big
This
That's
guy is looking directly in her anus. So it says,
Well,
he
I
says
mean-
it has a very interesting artist behind it. Illustration by bestowed with the title of hero for downing countless foes in the War of 12 Tribes. Bash commands great
Holy-
respect from his fellow orcs.
Oh my god,
But
that's
this
a title.
hero, but this hero has a dark secret. His success on the battlefield doesn't match up to his success in the bedroom. With his reputation on the line, Bash sets out on a quest of a lifetime, all for the explicit purpose of getting laid.
Oh wait, that's not
Wow.
the title? I thought that was
No,
the title.
the title is Orc Eroica.
so
Eroica.
he's just trying to bang hot.
I want it to be called Orc Erotica.
Orc
An erotic
Erotica?
life. Dennis Reynolds, an erotic life.
So what? He's a
So
soldier that goes around banging women.
I mean, I could get behind it, I guess. Asanagi
Yeah, I mean,
is the
that's what orcs
artist.
do, aren't they? Typically,
He's
No?
very well known in the hentai field. He has some pretty extreme stuff. Well, okay.
Good.
I mean, based on that.
See, there's
description-
there's men of culture, and then there's the degenerates who know the extreme stuff. You scare me a little. Nope, just darkness. All right. Okay, good. He makes orc rape porn. I'm glad that you knew that. That was the research you did. By the way, I have to know. I was recently watching an old podcast back, and I got to the part where you came into the chat, JT Master, and I said, "Hey, JT Master, Subverse is looking for voice actors. Submit your demo reel." I'm just curious, did you get your first gig because I told you that they were looking for people, or had you already applied? Also, here we are with our anime that's coming out section.
Didn't we cover...
We've already
Yeah.
covered these.
We
Okay.
already covered the Filmation
So,
stuff.
all right. Atomic Anime Blast, Volume 1. when you don't have any new licenses, so you just keep releasing the old ones in new special bundle packs. For $26.24. So yeah, I will say this. I would like to see Rio Rainbow Gate if anybody's interested in a watch club at some point.
I need to buy it, but I don't want to buy the double pack for the one half.
I hate to say it, but I might actually have 2 copies of it. Because and I don't have 2 of the Blu-rays, but I think I do have 2 of
Because the Blu-ray is dubbed.
Reshuffle. Reshuffle, the DVD is also dubbed, but yes, you would want the Blu-ray. I don't know if I even have the Blu-ray. I don't know. I'll have to look at my cataloging app, which is not going to be able to be installed on my new laptop. That's going to be fun.
You can get the old version, can't you?
I'll have to try, see if it's still installed on my computer as like or if I still have the install file. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children 4K HDR 2K Blu-ray. So would you like to regale the rest of the class with your knowledge from your reconnoitering?
Yes, so the night that we went over this, it was like, oh, so is it native 4K or upscaled? I wonder. So I went to Blu-ray.com. That was the night that the domain went down for whatever reason for 4 or 5 days. And I was able to check it, was it yesterday or the night before? And it said native 4K. And then I said, what the hell? The Final Fantasy Kingsglaive movie said upscale or whatever, 4K upscale. So I rechecked that, and that was changed to native, unless I'm misremembering. But my working theory is the whole reason the whole site went down is because they were so ashamed that they got that single piece of information wrong, and they just shut down the site for a while. And
I mean, I private all of my videos on my channel when I realized that I misspelled something in the description of one podcast. So real quick, JT Master says, lol, no. Sorry, everybody had to hear me say that. I auditioned beforehand, and one of them was literally an orc character. Remember the whole Manscaped line? Yeah, I don't know. You must not have connected the dots, but that's why I brought it up, actually, was because of the orc guy. I recorded before I had my current setup, so I was never going to get a role. Oh, wait, really? You didn't get the role? That was just like what you submitted to them? Because I mean, I wasn't planning on playing Subverse because I'm not really a porn game kind of guy. But I liked the line and thought it would have made somebody laugh playing the game or whatever. Watching the game. Let's be real, that's what you're doing. Anyway, that Sus Anime's manga was apparently also drawn by a hentai artist.
Nagatoro?
It's why it should be called I Can't Believe It's Not Hentai. Wow. I'll have to make that shirt. I Can't Believe It's Not Hentai, featuring the cast of characters that should have been in hentai. Okay, so anyway, that was interesting. And then did you mention the thing about the 4K native for Kingsglaive as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
So
Plunderer
cool.
Part
Real
2.
4Ks.
We already covered that.
We already covered
that. All right, moving on. That's great. That's great. Random merch news. All right. Now we get to where the podcast gets to slow down a little bit as we talk about these things. Gotta wait for it to load. All right. Pokemon manhole covers spreading with 8 new Pokefuda in Miyazaki. Yes, my friends, you heard that right. Manholes are spreading for Fuda. I do. That's it. I'll be here all night. I don't have anything to say about this article. I don't know what the hell Pokefuda is.
Is it Hanafuda for Pokemon?
No, that would be with a D.
Even though that would be.
So, are you trying to tell me that this isn't a tail? Okay.
I don't know, man. Like, that's the lowland version.
Yeah. Okay. You mean the Fuda version? What the fuck is Poke Fuda? Okay. What if Fuda literally means like manhole in Japanese?
Oh my. A manhole Nari?
I should have read it. A whole bunch of new Pokemon manhole or yeah. So it literally means Pokemon manhole. That's so weird. So Fuda doesn't just mean what the shorthand of it is. Futari is like together, two people. You know what I mean? So it's like it's kind of like the word bi, right? Like bicycle, like two wheel kind of thing, or bi as in like bisexual, or like what's the word? What do you call it when you've got both parts? Not what do you call that? Anyway, you get what I mean. It's like the word the reason they use that word is because it means both. It means having like two or whatever or something in the context of Fudanari, which is obviously what we're getting at here. Anyway, moving on to the rest of these. Here's an interesting one that I'm gonna have to refresh because I didn't let the images load. It's great to have fast internet. There we go. Ultra realistic cat backpack causes a frenzy online. So what would you do if you saw somebody walking around with that?
I'd say dem thighs, though.
No, but for real? Look at this thing.
I'd probably assume that it's like being harnessed correctly because it doesn't look in pain or anything.
It's so funny the way it just stands.
It's having a lot of fun with that tripod.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get enough time to go back and start doing some thumbnails. But timestamp, this has to be in it. 2 hours, 11 minutes. This and the Pokefudas. Anyway. All right. I'm not going to read this article, but apparently this is a thing. You can buy canned railway stones in Japan. And yes, they do look like somebody printed the label at home. Come on. Here we go. So you can buy it. What does that say?
We have a comment from Deflex1. Anyone have a collection bigger than Gigafrost? No.
Probably not. I've never seen his collection in its entirety.
It would probably have to be some secret, discreet celebrity who has all the money under the sun, who has bought every anime under the sun.
The theory / defamation that we like to put out there is that Gigafrosty owns Pirate Bay, and that he buys all of the Blu-rays and rips them and puts them up on the Pirate Bay. That's our theory. See, he's the one. He single-handedly uploads all of the torrents.
And that's how he
any movie. They're from his collection.
Thanks, Giga Frosty.
Anyway, so you can buy a canned rock in Japan. Also, Lady Dimitrescu, or however you pronounce this bitch's name, she has a towel as long as expected.
Oh, really? Oh, what the hell?
Is that a child?
Look
is
how
that a
wide
man or a child? I legitimately can't tell. It's so big.
That's almost 2 meters.
Is this real life-size Chris Redfield? I'm going to need to see the child next to Chris Redfield tonight. All right, here we go. Oh, I hope these articles don't suck. Tokyo woman in trouble with the law after selling high-priced Evangelion bootleg posters. Now, at first you're like, ugh, yawn. And then I started looking at the posters, and they're kind of funny, so I'm gonna force you to watch these. God damn it.
I think old man's
Why?
trying to say that that was a man child.
My scroll
was it
wheel
me?
isn't going. Here we go. So, fans of the anime baffled by backgrounds for. Damn it! It's a good thing I downloaded that. I hope I did at least. Fans of the anime baffled by backgrounds for Rei Ayanami posters. Generally speaking, the idea behind bootleg anime merch is that it's supposed to be a win-win, at least for the buyer and seller. The seller gets to widen their profit margin by dodging licensing fees, and the buyer gets the item they want, or a substitute copy to be precise, at a price below what they pay for the official product. So it's hard to see how a 45-year-old woman from Tokyo who has a day job as an office worker managed to convince a 60-something-year-old man at a flea market to buy a single bootleg Evangelion poster from her for $76. But somehow she did, and she now finds herself in trouble with the law. According to the Kanagawa Prefectural Police Department's Yokosuka precinct, the sale took place on September 12th and involved an unlicensed poster of Evangelion's Asuka Soryu Langley. In late November, a search of the woman's house in Tokyo's Setagaya ward turned up 52 other bootleg posters, the bulk of which featured various members of the Eva cast. Rather than exact duplicates of official posters, some of the items appear to be a mix of copied official artwork on new backgrounds, while others look like straight-up fan art renditions of the characters. Charges have been filed against the woman for violation of copyright law, which she has admitted to, saying, quote, "I sold them to earn extra spending money." Investigators say that the woman bought the posters in bulk online from an American artist who printed them, then resold them at inflated prices, earning roughly 1.2. So the American artist printed them, and then she resold them at inflated prices, earning roughly 1.2 million yen or $11,600 since the start of last summer. Online commenters found the numerical data involved with the case, as well as the aesthetics, puzzling. Wait, there's actually someone who'd spend 7,900 yen on one of these? 45 and 60 something? Aren't they a little old to be getting into this kind of trouble? Maybe the guy was buying it for his grandkids. The style of these posters doesn't fit. Are there pictures? Fuck me. They were in the video. God damn it. Well, you have to wait and see the podcast clip that I won't make to see it. I'm pretty sure I downloaded the video, so I will attempt to post them in the Discord at some point. What's up with all those flowers in the background of the Ray posters? If those smiling flowers look familiar, yeah, I'm glad you guys got to see them. It's because they're pretty blatant copies of the signature motif of the Japanese artist Takashi Murakami. Because why just rip off one artist when you can rip off two, apparently? Yeah, anyway, all right, boom. While the anime industry in Japan does have a long history of leniency towards fan artists, as proven by the massive crowds at doujinshi events like Comiket, where comics and illustrations of copyrighted characters are openly sold, there are a couple of criteria sellers are generally expected to meet, such as having produced the artwork they're selling themselves, offering it for a limited time, and a revenue stream that, at least ostensibly, is meant to offset costs and allow the artist to go on creating. With none of those boxes checked, it seems there's no fan art goodwill to get the seller off the hook. Anyway, that's unfortunate that image is gone. Okay, you guys remember that guy who was stealing women's shoes and replacing them with the same shoe?
Yes.
Open and shut case, right? Like that guy's going to jail, right? Wrong. Aichi man who stole and replaced women's shoes set free. Victims too disgusted to press charges. It's a rare example of someone being below the law instead of above the law. About 2 weeks ago, a man in Nagakuta City in Aichi Prefecture was arrested for stealing a pair of pumps that belonged to a music teacher. What made the theft even stranger was that when taking the shoes, he had replaced them with a nearly identical new pair. The ensuing investigation found a further 20 pairs of women's footwear in the suspect's home, suggesting that he had done this several times. He had also admitted to police that he had exchanged the shoes because he enjoyed the scent of the used ones. So here's the news report on the arrest where you can see all the shoes. I'm pretty sure I downloaded this already, but just to be safe, I'll tell it again. Watch, it's already deleted. What the fuck? No. That's not what I asked you to do. There we go. That's what I need. Yeah, maybe if I didn't have Torrent running, this would not take up too much of my internet. All right, there we go. The link that I posted was not valid somehow. Okay, paste link. Are you copy link address, paste link. There we go. Got it. All right. Okay. So, he enjoyed the scent of the used shoes. That's how things stood as of the 10th of April. But upon further investigation, new details have come to light about this thief's modus operandi. It turned out that the man would survey the shoe cubbies of his victim's workplace and take photos so that he could purchase a convincing pair of lookalikes. Then, after buying the shoes, he would break them in himself for a bit before making the switch. So this guy must only get to be attracted to women with really big feet. But then again, a freak with a foot fetish might like that. I don't know. Or maybe he's just tiny-feeted. So he would break them in himself for a bit before making the switch so that hopefully the victim wouldn't notice. It would seem this new information proved too much for the initial victim to handle because the music teacher dropped the charges against him, saying that the details of the case were too disgusting for her. She wasn't alone either. After her story broke, many other women came forward about their shoes feeling suddenly different and reported it to police. However, none of them were willing to pursue charges against the man for similar reasons. Yeah, X to doubt. They got free shoes. Since shoes aren't worn inside many workplaces, they are often left at the front entrances on a shelf or the floor, making them all too easy to tamper with.
They're only worn in Brad's dungeon.
Yeah, I don't want to see your feet in my dungeon. As a result, on the 23rd of April, the suspect was set free and will not stand trial. The police have also determined that he was not stalking any of the women themselves, just their shoes. So they will not seek charges on those grounds either. Quote, due to the nature of the case, it was difficult to get cooperation, said an officer. If that's what the victims want, then there's nothing we can do, but it's a shame because we put a lot of work into the investigation. Meanwhile, netizens were amazed that this man would go unpunished, presumably because what he did was so repulsive and insignificant that no one wanted anything to do with it. So this guy is so perverted that even the law can't touch him. That's a great defense, right? It's like, Your Honor, my client is pleading the pervert defense, the one where you just let us go. He fought the law and he won by being totally gross. He's too icky to prosecute. Maybe now that he's free, he'll come give me some new shoes next. Yikes. This whole outcome makes me very uncomfortable. That is one powerfully revolting guy. It's easy to look at the facts of the case and dismiss it as not a big deal, especially since the shoes were replaced. However, it's still a violation of people's privacy that undoubtedly fills them with a general sense of unease and can stay with them throughout their day-to-day life. That feeling is only amplified by having to dwell on it with repeated police reports and testimonies. Yeah, I guess. Throw in the considerable attention the case has gotten in the media, and it's not unimaginable that the victims would prefer to put it all behind them as soon as possible. One bit of consolation is that the guy is fully on the local police's radar now. So in the very likely event that he tries something like this again, his chances of getting caught have gone up considerably. I like how they already have the next article written. Like, like is that just like they're like just ready for it? They've already got the title picked out and everything. We'll see. So guys, again, these are articles that came up today that I was like, well, might as well cover them because this can't possibly not be funny, right? Man's panties stolen from man's panties stolen from man in Nagoya by male-female team of thieves.
Huh.
Large amount of cheap lingerie pilfered. By most metrics, crime levels are very low in Japan. Unfortunately, though, panty theft isn't unheard of. And so ordinarily, someone getting arrested for stealing panties wouldn't be all that noteworthy in and of itself. However, an incident that took place in Nagoya was anything but ordinary, even by Japanese panty theft standards. Last week, the police arrested 25-year-old Koki Mori for what a great name, for breaking into a home in Moriyama Ward, named after his home, the same part of the city in which Mori lives. After gaining entry, Mori made off with 34 pairs of panties. One might expect that Mori's crime was the result of his infatuation with a woman who lived in the house. But according to police reports, the sole occupant of the home is a 37-year-old man. In another unexpected twist, Mori's accomplice in pulling off the panty raid, who has also been arrested, is a woman in her 20s. So remember we talked about those women of culture? We found one.
Yeah.
What? That's Mr. Sato. The burglary happened back in November, but it wasn't until last week that investigators arrested Mori and his partner in crime. Quote, "There is no mistake that I entered the home and stole panties and other items."
He said the line.
Yeah. Said Mori, and a search of his home turned up some 170 stolen items. It's unclear whether Mori knew that there was a treasure trove of panties inside the man's house, either for his personal use, decorative purposes, or perhaps for guests. Yes.
Or maybe he's
the decorative purposes of panties. They're underutilized use. Or if he'd already decided to rob the place and just happened to come across and decided to snag a few dozen pairs of panties during the heist. Ostensibly, the panties will be returned to their rightful owner once they're no longer needed as evidence in the case. It's likely, though, that after several months in the thief's possession, the owner would rather just replace the lingerie, especially since, according to police estimates, the total market value of the 34 pairs of panties is $43 US. Damn, I gotta buy panties in Japan. 34 pairs for $43? What, do you sell them at the 99-cent store? Anyway, any thoughts? See, when I read, it says here, man's panties. Like, they're men's panties that were stolen from a man.
To him. I assume that he's actually a pilferer himself, but...
yeah, that's what I was wondering. But then I'm looking at it, I'm like, is this like for the... Does it have like the hammock for the dong? I don't know. I mean, it's probably not even a picture of them. They're just whatever ones that they could grab at the... hey, anybody here wearing some weird-looking panties? Yeah, take them off and put them on the desk so we can take a picture for the article. I gotta know what's going on. No. I want to know what's going on with this article and if it's just a recreation. Why are none of the links working? Okay, so that was just a link to that other one. Okay, not important. All right. So I'm sorry to say that we have to cover this hate crime, but first I want to catch up on the articles, on the comments. Oh, by the way, I was going to send you guys a link. If anybody would like to join, I'm sending the Discord link. Boy, I suck at this. Copper, jeez. I clicked on it and it disappeared. Why is Heisenberg up in the? I think we can. I think we're allowed to add more. Jesus Christ, just go! Oh my God, I need that new laptop so bad. Okay, I'm just gonna Alt Tab to it. Oh yeah, new audio devices found. Jesus. Okay, podcast guests. All right, everybody, here it comes. If you're interested in joining, especially if you just want to verbalize your comments that I'm about to read, it's in the Discord. As soon as, dear God, I can't wait till I have that.
If you want to come on to defend yourself, now's your opportunity.
Okay. All right, I sent it. Jesus, what a pain. Why is my computer acting this way? He said while rendering things out of Premiere.
Just watch your new one has the same issues out of the box.
So the new laptops do not have the butterfly keyboard. I made sure.
Whoa. That's like revolutionary, not having a terrible keyboard.
Yes. I mean, the 64 gigs of RAM, the 8-core processor and GPU, those are the things I was really getting it for. But not having a butterfly keyboard was definitely the number one.
I could have had that in my PC for like half of the price you probably paid for it.
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to catch up on this chat here, but everything is going to shit right now. For the rock in the can, that looks like a turd in a tin. That's good. And it's not even a pet rock. Yeah. Is that her man and her child? Yes. Giant woman did. Okay, here. Now we're getting to the real questions. I think you guys have probably answered them already in the comments, but whatever. Wow, my connection is so goddamn bad. Did Blood the Last Vampire ever come out on Blu-ray? Yes, it did.
I watched it that way. Weird flex,
You replaced their shoes. What's up? Weird flex? Okay.
I was just saying that about me saying that, I watched Blood the Last Vampire that way.
I see you, Lance.
Hello.
Add to stream. Damn it.
That was weird.
Okay, Reese, I'm going to let Reese do it. Reese, add our friend to the stream. Thank you. Okay, so he replaced their shoes. There was no monetary damage. In theory, it would have limited his liability. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. If you stole somebody's car, but you replaced it with a brand new car,
that was better.
It would be hard to get them to press charges. Even if you rode the car around a little bit to break it in, like it would be hard to get them to press charges.
That sounds like something Ashton Kutcher would do.
Yeah,
for a TV skit.
Yeah, for Punk.
I mean, unless you have like some kind of sentimental value to that specific car, that my dad bought me. My dad bought me this car when I was 16 years old, kind of thing.
Right. I had sex in this car for the first time. How dare you take it? Peter grows outside of anime to me.
I don't.
I mean, I don't think, personally, I don't think feet are gross, but I don't think that they're worth. I think it's gross that people get boners over them. Feet induced boners.
Sorry, AC's not going to be asking his wife.
That sounds a lot like
anytime soon, apparently.
No, I will never ask for a foot job because I watched Hunter Biden get one and it turned me off to them forever.
Wait, what? Never mind. Don't explain that.
So,
dude, guys,
him saying that sounds a lot like. Okay.
The videos from the laptop are available online. You can watch them, and you will never be the same.
Well,
Never
I'm not
before have
watching
you
them,
thought,
so-
wow.
I've had enough
The
crazy in my
president's
life
son.
for now.
Yeah.
But
So I'll tell you
sound-
what's
that
going
comment
on. Real quick.
sound-
Here's the story. Here's the story about.
Well, you guys are kind of sounding awesome.
We're sounding good or terrible.
Oh well, I'm using pro level recording headphones, and I'm having to come in through a different way than my normal setup. So
Okay.
yeah, you guys
it
are
definitely sounds a
super.
little different.
Yeah, you guys
Reese,
definitely are new.
I'm loving that your face occupies Ram's spot, and it's like you're tipping your hat to Subaru's dick. Anyway,
Oh my
even
God.
though even they can see her hands, she's got a third arm holding up my hat.
well, we didn't remove your hand tipping the hat from the hookers picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's within lore. It makes sense. Anyway, so the Hunter Biden thing, I might have shared this story before. Oh, there you go. The appropriate response to seeing Subaru's dick. So the Hunter Biden thing, those videos got leaked, and my wife and I were watching this video. This is
We
before.
were watching them together because they were so hot.
This is
I
before
respect
the
that.
election. This is before the election. My wife and I were watching a video. It had people in China talking about like the corruption of the Biden family and everything, and then they start showing clips from the laptop, like as proof, like we have it. It has been compromised. This presidential candidate is compromised, and my wife and I are sitting there like, wow, that's really Hunter Biden. And keep in mind, his dick has a big blur box over it, right? And we're watching it. And it's going on a little long, and we're like, this is very uncomfortable, especially because whoever sat there and threw that blur box on there didn't make sure it covered that dick the whole time. So it got real uncomfortable. And then after like 4 minutes
Damn, they
of
suck at
watching
their job.
him coach this girl who may have been underage, I don't know.
Oh,
how
God.
to do a foot job. We're like, all right, this is getting uncomfortable.
take
We
back what
start
I
scrolling
said.
through it, and I'm like, oh God, it's like a full 30 minutes. And it's like, because it was prefaced with these people in China discussing that Chinese hackers have compromised this presidential candidate and all that stuff, and like you have to. Like America's really got to do something. You can't let him get into power because he's compromised by the Chinese Communist Party or whatever. So like because they preface with that, my wife and I are sitting here watching it, and we're like, surely they're going to come back in and further the stuff they're telling us about the Biden family from the leak from the laptop. But no, it's just a whole goddamn porno of his home recording, and it has, as I said, forever ruined feet. The idea of a foot job gone. Can't not think of Hunter Biden. Thanks for ruining one more thing.
You know, it
The
amazes
possibilities
me.
are
Oh God, that's also I gotta ask for my mental state. I don't understand how that right there. Okay, they're saying specifically that the compromising is that they hacked his laptop, his son's laptop, right?
Yes.
Okay, my question is this. Okay, this guy might not know a damn thing about being safe online. There's no telling what kind of viruses he put on there himself.
Oh, dude.
So
fucking
what I'm saying is, how does that?
When Podesta's emails were hacked for the WikiLeaks thing, his password was password.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's how
I've
they
heard of
fished
weird
him.
shit like that before, but the thing is, it's just like all I'm just thinking is like that's not compromising their campaign. That just means his son's an idiot for one.
Oh no. There was more to it than that because of the
okay.
Burisma scandal and everything. Yeah, there was a lot more to it. I'm prefacing
okay.
it with the fact that there was a discussion in there about it's a whole big thing. Anyway, yeah,
Gotcha. All right, never mind.
I'm just explaining how I ended up sitting through this video and being like,
you are
my wife
giving
and I
your
were so
reason for why you and your wife watched Hunter Biden in a porno.
It
Gotcha.
was it was pretty awful.
It was totally
10 out of 10
innocent
would
for
not do
research
again.
purposes. It was totally innocent and for research purposes. Also, I have to ask a real quick question. Am I coming in too loud? Because
No, you sound fine. I mean,
Okay, cool.
you sound like you're being recorded
Slightly
on a
loud?
potato, but
You're slightly louder
Oh.
than Brad.
okay, well, yeah, my mic
Is
isn't
it-
exactly the best right now
In
because
the
of the one I'm
meantime,
using.
though,
But
you can
Pardon?
pick up all the girls in
In
my
Brad's
dungeon you want. Because there are no queens in my dungeon, only fat bimbos.
so that hold up. That comment that JT Master made about ew feet are gross outside of anime to me, that reminds me of I feel like there was one or two girls that have said something like oh, I only like anime boys or whatever, and that's what it sounds like to me.
Man saying 37-year-old man pantsu has never darkened my doorstep. What? If the panties are worn by a man, wouldn't it be manties? He stole manties. I like this.
I
Mansu.
think I got a. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yes, not pantsuit, but mansuit. All right. I can't imagine what he did to those shoes before he replaced them, and then the women wore them. It's not about them being new. Yeah, seriously. Like, did he stick his dick in the shoes? He put it back on the.
That's also another good question. Like, if this guy had that much expendable cash, I'm sure he could have, in some way, shape, or form, been like. Used it as some form of other kind of leverage to entice a woman to do something foot-wise.
I feel like they were like, oh, man, this gross pervert switched out my shoes. Oh, what did he do to him? Pull out the soul? Holy shit, 10,000 yen underneath here? I'm dropping the charges, officer. Please rob my shoes again.
It's not impossible.
My wife and I were watching Hunter Biden get a foot job, yeah. I'm not saying it was good. Honestly, when it started and it was blurred and we're like, all right, so they're just proving to us that they actually have this thing that up until this point has been rumored. Like, and it was clearly him. He had a crack pipe in his mouth.
Oh, wow.
Dear God.
He also, snorted cheddar or Parmesan?
What?
Snorted Parmesan.
I've heard not of this.
What does this have to do with Hunter Biden?
Nothing.
He's saying
no,
he was
Hunter
Parmesan.
Biden snorted Parmesan.
Oh yeah. So what happened with Hunter
cocaine.
Biden? So what happened with Hunter Biden is because he was high. He was so addicted to crack cocaine that he like ran out of it and started like grabbing granules that he thought was cocaine off of the floor, off of it, pulling it out of his carpet to smoke it. And he was literally grabbing bits of Parmesan that had like fallen on the floor,
that poor Parmesan,
thinking it was cocaine so that he could smoke it because he was that addicted. Yeah, that's his own
he
testimony.
snorted it.
Whatever he did, I don't know. Whatever.
It's taking up his nose. If I'm getting what Brad's saying, he's still, he snorted it, but he got it off the floor, which is
floor cocaine's the best.
The laptop.
Where's Dr. Phil when you
hacked.
need him for this guy?
So Random Loan says the laptop leak wasn't hacked. Yes, okay. So the laptop was not hacked, but what I'm saying is that the data they could pull from the laptop would then make other accounts be hackable because of personal information you could gather from it, or not even just hackable, but what do you call it? Extortion, right? Because business accounts and whatnot, access to bank accounts that you're logged into, like let's say Bank of America on your browser or whatever, although let's be real, Bank of America makes you log in every time kind of thing. But that's what I'm saying. Access to it, access at least to your email. Even just having access to your email, you can reset any password you want, Yeah.
Yeah, that is a terrifying prospect.
As fuck. Okay. Real feet always look gross. Very rarely do people have nice, clean looking feet. I mean, whatever.
Because anime feet don't, one, I'll put it like this.
Yeah,
anime feet don't ever actually get used. I mean, don't take me wrong. I walk around in mine, so I don't think any babe's gonna be like, "Dude, you got nice feet, bang me." That's not happening anytime soon.
People with foot fetishes have all sorts of problems. All right, so Kyoto police are investigating cream puff attack on a Bentley. It's very sad.
What the fuck? Cream puff attack?
Pastry may or may not have been weaponized by attackers. Cream puff related crime has been on the rise in Japan. Since I haven't seen one since 2013, the incident that happened on the 18th of April 2021 represents a 100% increase over 8 years. At about 10:30 p.m. in Kyoto City, a 30-year-old man who was working late left his office only to find his prized Bentley vandalized. All across the rear windshield was the delectable gooey components of a cream puff, also known as show cream.
The components?
Yes. It smelled terribly sweet, he told the media.
Oh my god.
There was cream puff wrapper in the trash. There was a cream puff wrapper in the trash can by the vending machine in front of the office, so I understood right away. He checked the security footage of the building and caught the two young perpetrators in the act. Although one person was hidden from the view, his shadow was easily visible in the footage, while the other man could be seen holding and hurling the pastry violently at the $109,000 car. A news report showing the cream puff attack, warning, graphic content. You guys can see it?
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm highly doubting.
I'm sorry you have to see this graphic footage.
Yes. Please avert your eyes. There is cream puff blood all over this man's Bentley.
He creamed all over his car, man.
You know what? When they said ride with us, isn't exactly what they had in mind.
Gross as it already is, the act went far beyond sugar and milk. After cleaning off the rear windshield, the owner found a small chip in the glass about the size of a baby's fingernail.
What the actual?
I think there was something hard, like a stone in it, he said. I was pretty shocked. Readers of the news were also shocked and disgusted at such a wanton disrespect for good food. What a waste of a cream puff. What kind of person would have a cream puff in their hand and not eat it? This is just senseless. This is one person who will not be delighted by the taste of a cream puff. This is so offensive to cream puff lovers. What drives someone to do something like this?
Such madness.
Yeah, there's already been riots in Japan from BLM. Bentley Lives Matter.
Oh my god. You know.
Then there's
oh, dear Lord.
There's also the question of why someone would put a filthy stone in something as sweet and pure as a cream puff. If you're going
they ask you that every time you know you bang a hot chick, but it's a thing.
What?
Stone. Never mind. You know what? Just ignore me. Cream puff. Cream. You're nuts, dude. Cream puff is a friend of mine uses it as a sexual replacement for vagina.
Okay.
I should have explained that to you guys in post story
or whatever. Is making your friend's an idiot.
Yes, he is. That's why we're friends.
So a cream puff, I take it, is when you cream pie and then throw the woman in an oven.
I think on that note, I'm gonna dip out.
I don't blame you, Dan.
I'm tired, and to be honest, I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm falling asleep.
I hear you.
All right.
Especially considering we went to the movies together that other night, and I also didn't get much sleep, and I've been trying to catch up on it. All right, man. Catch you later.
Sounds good, guys. Bye. No problem.
Bye, Dan.
Bye.
Whatever his name is, I don't know.
That is his name.
Then there's also the question of why someone would put a filthy stone in something as sweet and pure as a cream puff. If you're going to throw a stone, then why not just throw a stone? Also, in the camera footage, it looked as if the men were recording themselves, possibly to make a wacky video of their perverted destruction of food for social media.
You want to play devil's advocate for a second on this one? maybe they just want to throw this cream puff at this guy's Bentley just to be, assholes. But the cream puff that they got ended up having a stone in it because it was someone playing a prank on whoever bought the cream puff.
These guys are like a bunch of dickholes. Put a stone in their cream puff. Little did they know. Accessory to Bentley crime.
They go back to the curb store like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, we traced the stone back to the bakery. We can't rule out that there may have been some foreign body already in the cream puff when it was purchased from an undisclosed nearby convenience store.
Did anybody even consider that the chip was there all along?
See, I'm not convinced that the guy in the video isn't the guy who owns the Bentley trying to get the police or insurance to pay for the chip. Fresh cream puffs can be found in any major convenience store in Japan. If that is the case, then these two suspects may have actually accidentally saved a life as a result of their careless destruction of a dessert and subsequent scratch on a luxury car. Yeah, because they could have died of eating the stone.
Okay. The second devil's advocate. Who the hell doesn't chew their food?
The answers to these mysteries will have to wait until a full forensic investigation is conducted and the men are apprehended, dead or alive.
What the fuck?
I'm assuming all this is currently happening right now because another crime this heinous could be seriously damaging to Kyoto's reputation as a dessert-loving city. Wow. Well, there you go. Sorry, you guys. I didn't give you a proper trigger warning for all the. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Real quick, oh god.
I digress fully on the subject.
Oh god.
I regressed.
You're going back into this shit?
No, it's just So why?
That's what I hear every time someone says I digress.
I love that.
No,
word.
that said reenactment for the pink raw one. Okay, maybe that was worth reading the other day. Anyway, yeah, because it says reenactment on the image, so it means there's actually a guy out there. Anyway, pooping in a supermarket checkout lands Kitakyushu man 300,000 yen fine.
How come it always comes to this in our extra articles? Like, why?
The fact that just somehow the mindset continuously depletes and depreciates.
Because we don't have a pooping in the checkout aisle section for the podcast, so it has to go to miscellaneous news, of course.
No, I'm not saying why is it categorized there. I'm just saying why is it always in there? Why is there always happen to be a new story about it? Like,
see, that's the thing is that, like I said, I did the articles. And I'm like, it's going to be kind of a bland week. It's all right. We can still have a good time. And then I check articles today. Actually, this was from 4 days ago. This is one of the few that was going to be in there. But I check articles today, and that's where like the male-female panty theft duo and all that stuff came from.
Man,
anyway.
I checked those articles, and I saw this shit. It was everywhere.
So this might be a really gross start to a brighter future for the man.
Wow.
At around 4 a.m. on the 18th of February in Kitakyushu City in Fukuoka Prefecture, a heavily intoxicated man wandered into a 24-hour supermarket and approached the cashier in the checkout aisles. "I want to poop," he informed a staff member, who then told him the restroom was locked overnight for security reasons. While most people at that point would head off in search of another place to defecate, the man simply said, "Yep, I'll do it here," dropped his pants, and let nature take its course right there in the checkout aisle. I like the idea that he climbed up and shit on the conveyor.
Oh. I've heard of getting a load off, but this isn't exactly what I had in mind.
He was promptly arrested for the indecent exposure and ultimate. Is it more in are there third degree, first degree indecent exposure? Because if I see your butthole puckering as shit is coming out of it, that's first degree, right? Like nobody should see that.
I don't.
I would consider
damages.
I would consider that third degree because I'm gonna need therapy for the rest of my life.
First degree is the more heinous of the crime.
Oh, I was thinking
Yeah,
as
it's
in
not
burns.
like burns.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I said the word
first
that
degree.
the forbidden word.
Okay.
Wait, that's forbidden?
No,
We can't
lol is forbidden. Verbalizing it.
Okay.
He was promptly arrested for the indecent exposure and ultimately charged with obstruction of business, given the extensive cleanup that was required afterward. Such a crime holds a max. Good.
This reminds me of 2 years of my life in high school. I spent trying to figure out how to make sphincter muscle a legitimate insult. And for some reason, I just keep thinking about the insults that I had and come up with.
I just keep thinking
one day,
about those muscles.
exactly. One day I was doing math, and there was this friend of my
Math?
sister's over. Math, MATH, math. I never done drugs in my life. Yes, I was doing math in high school. And there was this friend of my sister's over, and she was playing with her scrunchie. And she dropped it, and I picked it up, and I just called it a sphincter muscle.
I'm gonna.
Apparently, this girl never knew.
Is this?
Okay.
Can you draw? No. Can you draw the story so I can run and get a water? I'm gonna listen through my AirPods.
Yeah. I can actually draw it out. And my joke in calling that a sphincter gave me a 20-minute conversation with this girl about what the hell a sphincter was. And she was a year older than me. And every time now that I look at a scrunchie, I think about someone's ass.
That's nice.
So if I were to see somebody taking a shit, see, it actually comes full circle. If I were to see somebody taking a shit in a supermarket,
Crunchy.
I would immediately connect all those lines back, and I would be scarred for the rest of my life. So yes, I agree with Brad. I would be owed damages.
Oh, so yes, you would, damages.
So let it be known. Next time you pick up a scrunchie, just know it was inspired by the sphincter muscle. And then next time you're in a supermarket, think about all this, because there could be someone on the next aisle taking a shit, and you won't know it until you turn the corner and start heading down.
Wow, I came in at a great time.
You're welcome.
So my AirPod is dying, so I'm going to just switch to that one real quick. Water was good, but it didn't sound strong enough, so I also grabbed the what's left of this whiskey.
Water's not strong enough.
Got
Water.
the banana flavored Howler Head. So yeah, because I also need to go to bed like an hour ago. So this is gonna help.
Cool.
Oh, I forgot whiskey doesn't taste so good once it gets to the bottom. Ooh, doesn't taste like banana anymore. It just tastes like barley.
Regret.
All right.
You sound like you're really enjoying that whiskey.
I will enjoy the effects of it shortly.
Okay.
I did
You
about
should
2
just got
shots.
some rum.
worth of this.
If you just want effects, man, you should just straight up get you some rum.
I like whiskey better than rum. Anyway, okay, so where was I? He was promptly arrested for the indecent exposure, blah, blah, blah. I read that. Such a crime holds a maximum penalty of 3 years in prison or 500,000 yen, which is only about $4,630 in fines. Hopefully some of that would be used to cover the cost of burning anything used to clean up that mess afterwards and the therapy for the poor part-timer who had to do it. Meanwhile, in the court of public opinion, little to no leniency was offered for such a disgusting act, as can be seen in these online comments. That was the most costly poo I've ever heard of. I hope there's another supermarket in the area because he can
That
go.
shit caught me an ass load.
because he can't go there again. Even dogs and cats know how not to do that. Wow, I can't even pee with other people. He could have at least got a plastic bag to go in. If I was a staff working at that moment, I would have quit all this.
Hey, look, I'm not going to tell the story, but I went into a Walmart where there was a similar thing already just happened. No offense. Why use the bathroom? I don't know.
Oftentimes this is where such a story ends. But when this man's case went to trial this month, everyone was able to get some unprecedented insight into the mind of a supermarket checkout pooper. It all began back in January of this year when the man's father passed away. The loss devastated him, and he rapidly descended into full-blown alcoholism. This is
And he
great.
soiled himself.
You know, it's kind of
Oh my
funny.
god.
It's kind of funny because since sitting down, I have to go to the bathroom so bad. And now I'm reading about the alcoholism and stuff. So give me a second to take a leak before I become the next like checkout pooper or whatever.
And
All right.
then have your nightmare come true. You know the thing you were talking about, your AirPods still being on? Or whatever, disconnecting the mic?
Footnum, you are a lifesaver. You should have kept your mouth shut.
What?
I said, first of all, you are a lifesaver, Footnum, and you should also keep your mouth shut because it'd been it'd have been something he never forgot if he ever did that.
Well, here, Reese, why don't you mute the mic so when it happens, it doesn't.
I've heard of talking shit on stream, but man, that would bring a whole new level. Well, you couldn't say he was full of shit anymore. It's just,
Oh, God.
All
So, Lance, I have been digging through my Yu-Gi-Oh cards for whatever reason.
Okay.
Been trying to find some gems, and I found a first edition Metal Raiders one.
So
Holy
so
crap,
first of
really?
all,
It's $30.
Hot
First of all-
damn. Metal Raiders is old as shit, bro. I used to love that pack.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a
So-
lot of cards from it. Just a lot of them aren't first edition, but I have a couple, and that one's in good condition and $30, and not particularly a great card, but just because it's first edition.
Yep.
good-
That's
good
the way
on
it
you,
is. I-
first edition. So real quick,
Cat's back!
one of these days, I just know that,
One of
that
these
when they
days,
add
I'm gonna
when they
leave the
add
mic
sound
on,
effects
not
as
gonna
opposed to video files, that as soon as I leave to go to the bathroom, you guys are gonna have like a pre-made like fart track that you're just gonna burn me with.
Oh God!
That got me thinking about your exposed video that got was
Yeeted?
community guidelines claimed against it.
Oh god.
So behind the
I
scenes,
don't remember if it was
jokingly,
specific to that, but
whenever one of us does something on the podcast that can be taken out of context, we timestamp it, and we have like a collection of moments from the show that are very unflattering to each member, especially when taken out of context. And FDM
Everything
takes them
I've
a
ever
step
said?
further. FDM takes them a
And
step
what?
further and made it sound like I was disparaging a certain group one time.
Oh god.
In a funny way, and it's like where like you chop every syllable to get me to say it.
exactly. Like I
posted
cut
that-
it up.
He posted that as a
Oh, damn
as
it,
an
I'm so
unlisted
delayed.
video.
You Footnum, I'll tell you what you did. You went all the way down into the base of that audio track, and you were like, all right, here, this syllable ends here, and I just paste this together.
Yeah, so he cut it down to the point where like each syllable was from a different part of the podcast, so that I would say something, and it was unlisted on YouTube, and it was called like Brad Exposed or whatever, and then YouTube sent him an email months
God.
later, and it said we've removed the video for YouTube for violation of community guidelines.
How? Never mind.
Their system clearly saw heard him disparaging that one group of people, which I
Grammar
edited.
Jews.
He didn't actually disparage any group. Sorry.
So-
But yeah, so essentially, they took that down. I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. Don't sue me, Brad.
I would sooner sue you. Anyway, all
You're
right.
getting rid of my
Random
free
11,
publicity,
did
assholes.
you tell me to check this Millennium Puzzle?
I wasn't here for that. I don't know what you're talking about.
What's up?
He says, Footnum, check Discord. So that's what I'm seeing. The Millennium Puzzle.
Okay.
It's a model kit, so that would be pretty sick. I want it.
All right.
Nice.
So the loss of the man's father devastated him and rapidly descended into full-blown alcoholism. He had been hospitalized more than once for alcohol dependency, but it seemed to do little good. On the 17th of February, from noon, he started drinking the distilled Japanese beverage with a high alcohol content known as shochu, I think that's Korean, and didn't stop until police escorted him away from the pile of his own feces in the supermarket. Has a alcohol beverage volume? What? I don't know what ABV is.
He has a blood feces level of 60%.
What do you call it? Proof. That's what alcohol by volume. That's what ABV is. Alcohol by volume, 20 to 40%. Anyway, he told this all to the judge at his trial and added that he recognized his act as inhumane. It was very chimp-like for sure. He also
it was very human. It just wasn't appropriate.
He also promised to join a support group for alcoholism, saying that if the incident didn't cause him to swear off drinking, then he is truly doomed.
Hi guys, my name is. I shit in public.
My name is, and I'm an alcoholic, and I'm a supermarket shitter. Presiding Judge Kanji Ino took his promise into consideration, and rather than the maximum punishment, handed down fucking more than half the fine. Yeah, I knocked $1,000 off you, buddy. In addition, the Judge Eno set a condition that the fine would be reduced by $69 for each consecutive day the man didn't drink, meaning that if he can go 40 days without touching alcohol, his fine will be completely waived. Wow. It just goes to show. But what about the poop? What about the PTSD of that stock cleaner?
And who the hell's gonna sit in this guy's house and fucking be like, all right, dude, you're not allowed to drink.
They're probably gonna breathalyze him, or what?
Daily.
I don't know. It just goes to show that people who appear to brazenly poo in public might be going through some things of their own, and we should try to be sympathetic to that. Probably. Nah, shoot on sight.
No, dude, we're just gonna make an article of it and turn this into a meme. Take this 4 hours standing in Walmart.
It's true.
You don't have change? My ass. Sorry, continue.
No, I don't even want to finish.
Whoa, Lance, you're coming in hot.
It's an ad for.
Oh,
Lance,
I'm sorry.
your audio's coming in a bit hot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What? Okay. All right, so a Kanzai man was arrested for defrauding his 35 girlfriends. I'm not going to read this one. I'm just going to tell you what happens. So this 45-year-old dude, 50, I don't know, 40-something, 39-year-old part-time worker. He convinced 35 different women in their mid to late 40s that he had a birthday that was a different date than his actual birthday so that they would give him birthday presents. So 35 girlfriends. That means that if he dated one of them every day of the month, somebody's still getting left out. A couple of people are still getting left out, right?
Two of them are twins.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the reason I covered this is because, well, first of all, I love the gotcha journalism where they find this asshole. Hey, you did this bad thing. Let me throw a camera in your face. Tell me about all those women you defrauded. Yeah, I told them my birthday was July 28th, and that other one, the 14th, and that other one, anyway. It's kind of funny. Anyway, but the reason I'm sharing it is a lead into this. Ollie drummer Kahadio arrested again on charges of defrauding an Osaka woman in her 70s. I think this is this guy. I like that theory. The band had produced singles for Beastars and Jujutsu Kaisen. Not anymore. Now they're canceled because of the fraud. TBS News reported today that the drummer from the band Ali had been rearrested on separate charges than the ones filed against him earlier this month. What were they on? The Tokyo Metropolitan Police alleges that Kahadio and his friends had committed a phone scam against an Osaka woman in her 70s. How dare they? On April 8th, Kahadio was arrested for allegedly committing communications fraud, a subset of a common phone scam in Japan. This caused Ali's record label, Sony Music, to request the production committee of The World Ends With You, the animation, to remove Ali's... Dude, so it was
Oh my
this.
God.
It legitimately was this that caused it. Him defrauding old women. To remove Ali's Teenage City Riot as the opening theme song to the series, of which they obliged. Ali had previously performed the opening theme to Beastars and the first ending to Jujutsu Kaisen. In his arrest, Kahadio is suspected of ringing the woman in her 70s on March 3rd and telling her that she'll be reimbursed for her medical expenses if she pays around $21,400 to a bank account. Wow.
The hell?
This is a common fraud crime in Japan, especially around this time of the year when the central Japanese government gives out its tax refund to its residents, of which medical expenses can be part of it if the resident pays over the threshold for that tax year. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police alleges that Kahadio was seen taking out $3,891 from an ATM the next day and is the leader of the scam artist. Kahadio confessed to the crime to the Tokyo police, saying he had, quote, definitely, yep, there's no question. I definitely took that money out. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police are also looking into other crimes the group may have committed. Wow. So there you go. That's why we can't have nice things. Now, I don't mean to say this in a weird way, but that guy doesn't look Japanese to me. 1% of the singers produce 99% of the crime. He's a drummer. Never mind. That was a bad joke. Okay. Moving on.
Okay, that's something that I'm trying to wrap my head around because the drummer was convicted. They are going to remove the entire
yes.
the entire track. Oh my God. Who in the world, no offense to him, but drummers kind of go under the radar because drumming,
right?
Like a kit sounds like a kit.
Okay. For a 90-second OP, there had better have been a 50-second drum solo for that.
It's just insane that they're like, hey, we're going to cancel this whole thing, but there you go.
Okay. Public schools in Japan's Saga Prefecture will no longer regulate / check students' underwear color. All right, I'm going to have to take another shot here.
You're going to need it for that one.
Just finish off the bottle.
Dude, just chug. Chug, bro.
Woo! Put me back on the articles, my boy. Thank you. I just totally Colonel Sanders you. I'm so sorry. Put me back on the articles, my boy. All right. Male and female uniform designations, character strap prohibitions also removed. Oh, that's good. That's good. Look at how happy that girl is. Look at how not short.
She's leaping through time.
The girl who leapt through crime.
Yes.
Over the last several months, there's been an increasing sentiment in Japan that it's time for schools to take another look at their student conduct rules and ask if they're all really contributing to a better learning environment. One of the most controversial policies, schools that say students must wear white underwear. I mean, that's just good hygiene. The major point of contention isn't so much even whether or not kids should be allowed to wear other colors of underwear. The problem is that since schools naturally want to make sure that their rules are being followed, a white underwear only dress code results in teachers looking at students' underwear, either by having a teacher / administrator pull girls' bra straps up through their collar to check the color, or visually scanning students' underwear choices while they're changing in PE class. Wow.
The principal
Jeez.
clearly had a specific taste in mind.
I hope I hope the principal from Two Love Rue doesn't get any ideas.
Arrest that pedophile. Did you guys ever see Debutante Detective Corps?
No.
No.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to go on a long tirade here, but there's when they first infiltrate the school, the detectives. One of the non-girl detectives, like a guy, is like, must be nice. He's talking to the principal. Must be nice being the lead of an all-girl school. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have nothing but pure thoughts about teaching. He goes, come on. You tell me you've never taken a peek? Not even in gym class? Well, maybe just one. Arrest that pedophile! They like bait him into
Nice.
That's funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Literally the only part of that anime that I remember.
Oh, that was an anime? God, I don't know what you're talking about, which is
Debutante
oddly
Detective
enough.
Corps, released by ADV Films. Okay, so in response to growing concerns that such school rules, and others as well, may constitute a violation not just of the student's privacy, but also their human rights, Saga Prefecture's Board of Education carried out a study of questionable regulations at 51 prefecturally administered middle and high schools, finding that 14 of them had a white underwear requirement. In a meeting held this week, though, the board announced that all 14 schools have now abolished the rule, meaning no more underwear color checks starting with the 2021 school year, which is set to begin in the coming weeks. Granted, this article is a month old because we've been slacking on getting through these, because normally I care about work more than I care about doing the podcast, but not tonight.
How dare you care about work?
Good morning, class, and welcome to Freshman Literature. I am your teacher, Mr. Tanaka, and it's none of your business. It's none of our business what color your panties are. But if you'd like to show me, you can.
It
Optional.
First of all, color doesn't matter as long as people are dressed. I've come from someone colorblind, just being literal. So I feel like this really was one of those things. It started as some form of weird excuse. Like, hey, yeah, we can for the next so many years we can check people's underwear regardless of high school, college, everything.
Does color matter?
Come on, chat. Does color matter? I guess you know what? Considering how much shit I talk, people are probably gonna say mine does. But
So I just want to know, chat. In the bedroom, panty color, go. All right. So also abolished were the designations of different uniforms for male and female students at the 35 schools where such specifications were in place, likely in response to evolving attitudes regarding gender identity. You mean devolution? Oh. Okay. In addition, the 3 schools that require students to submit documentation that their non-black or curly hair is natural have done away with the need for such certification and will apparently be taking such students at their word that they have not dyed or permed their hair, both of which are generally against school rules in Japan. Look, we have invited anarchy to Japan. I can't wait to see where this goes. I guarantee you this is authoritarianism in the schoolroom is not really a good thing.
It's
Having
like
a tyrant,
authoritarianism in the bedroom.
It's bad. But when you let the inmates run the prison, it's kind of worse. So I can't wait to see how this fucks up the future. I've already resigned myself to die before the next 10 years. Just I will laugh myself to death due to the result.
I have a friend who could literally laugh himself to death.
Oh well.
It's actually possible with his breathing
I'm glad
problem.
you consider me a friend, Lance.
Oh, I do, buddy. I'm amazed you let me on this podcast.
I love you, buddy. I'm glad to have you here. All right.
Oh, I love you too, man.
Okay. No.
Okay, that just got really gay. Look, I actually had a friend of mine spend 30 minutes explaining to me that if one of your buddies ever tell you he loves you and you don't respond, then it's gay. So I'm like, what do I do? All right, just podcast clip. Let's move on.
In other news,
I'm looking at the
I
chat.
forgot that apparently there's this Yu-Gi-Oh card called Lady of D.
Yes,
Wow.
I remember something about that.
I don't remember where I left
supposed to be
off.
Lady
I'm
of
just saying,
Dragon.
out of
What this
context,
Lady of D comment
I know that, but when you read it literally, it's quite a different context. She's the Lady of D.
She's the Lady of D. Hey, look, man, there's the Lord of D. I believe there's
I know
what's the other one?
that's what she's basically
the
a play
Duchess
on.
of D.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing that card. I kind of thought. I'm sorry. I need to move my mic. I got closer to the mic. Okay. I thought that was a card mod. That's a literal
No, it's a real
card.
card. I have 4 in
Wow.
my hands right now.
You have 4 Ladies of D's in your hand,
Yeah.
dude. You go
How
and
many
leave this
D's you got
podcast
in your
right now.
hand?
God bless you, bro.
Okay.
There's
anyway.
only one D to go around, so it's going to be quite a problem.
Either that or all Futanari.
All right. Anyway.
They're all
okay.
Fuda. So you're in trouble, bro.
Oh
Alright.
my.
They're all
There we
Ladies
go.
of D.
I'm gonna just finish this off. You guys can continue to have fun after the podcast when I am asleep.
Alright. I've got about 15 minutes, and then I'm probably gonna hit the bed myself because
Alright.
I am exhausted.
Additional freedoms were granted to students at 2 schools who were previously barred from using lap blankets. Japanese classrooms are often unheated, even in winter. And 2 schools where kids were not allowed to attach character straps to their school. How dare you? To their school bags. 13 of 38 schools, which had rules regulating students' sock and sweater color, have also decided that students can make such choices themselves from now on without fear that it will bring a halt to their academic development. Of course, there are
What
still
the
plenty of
hell are they
schools in
even doing?
Japan where weird rules remain in place. But at least for the kids in Saga, it looks like things are going to get a little better. Hooray! We did it! Okay, but wait.
It amazes me. Go ahead. Just continue.
Line up in the hall. Open your shirts. Show your bras. Real instructions from
God.
one Japanese school.
What the fuck?
I'm going to finish this whiskey now.
It amazes me that, like, in America, we didn't have some sort of riot. I'm bringing my Pokemon cards to school, man! Because that's about what this fucking amounts to. I'm just like, I understand that, but hell, like, everywhere I've ever seen, there was some form of code or some shit, because I'm like, you can't blame the teacher for wanting the children to study.
Good
So,
morning, Seb.
I mean, you let them bring toys and Pokemon cards and stuff to slip to school. I mean, hell, at some point you got to calm it down, but fucking checking someone's underwear is wrong. Nah, I
So I'm
digress
just going to give you a
there.
heads up. I'm going to, this is going to be the last article I read. I'm going to save the other one, even though I haven't read it yet, and it probably sucks. But I want to know about this one. Dress code check has people in Japan upset. A number of Japanese schools have been under increasing criticism over the last year for being outdated or illogical, and the one getting the most attention these days involves students' underwear. As part of their dress codes, a number of schools have regulations in place that say students must wear white underwear. However, school uniforms are, obviously, already designed so as not to show students' underwear. That's the problem. Unfortunately, rather than take it on faith that the unseen underwear conforms with the rule, some schools exercise their authority in performing spot tests. One method is to have mirror floors. Wait, no, that's not what that says. One method is to have a teacher can check. Great sense. Great sense there. One method is to have a teacher check the color of bra straps pulled through a student's collar. But one school in Fukuoka Prefecture has used an even more shocking method. According to a student who was interviewed by the Fukuoka Bar Association,
A physical examination.
as part of a study of school rules in the prefecture, Girls at the school were told to line up in a school hallway, standing side by side. They were then told to unbutton and open their shirts, while a teacher came by and inspected their bras to make sure they were solid white.
Oh my God.
Liquid white?
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm trying so hard right now with all this whiskey and me to come up with a Japanese girl's name. I'm like, Kumori.
Hikari.
Hikari, that off-white bra ain't gonna do. Lose it now.
The thing to me is, and that's bothering me, that keeps playing in my mind, is it keeps saying bra. Underwear refers also to a boy's t-shirt and his boxers and or briefs. Why is it just the girls that are being signaled out?
That's a very good point. This article is sexist for not addressing the fact that many boys have also been lined up against the wall and told to show their undershirts.
It doesn't. Well, hey, I mean, when I was in high school, I was playing in a band and I was wearing what essentially was called a wife beater. You know, those real tight white t-shirts.
Oh yeah.
I hate the term
I see
for them.
you were wearing the old Ron Toya, weren't you?
I hated them, but I wore them, and I had one in black and one in gray because of the outfit we wore while we played. And I'm just like, this article is specifically aiming at the girls, and I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, well then that to me is not a red flag or anything, you know, and not judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. Otakuso says, you notice Seb, but not me. I mean, if you want to donate more than a hay penny, Seb is part of the Patreon crew. Seb gets
God.
First, like I feed him first at the trough. Boy,
he's the first. Right. He's the first one you throw out of the burning building.
Also, apparently, I'm high on caffeine, alcohol, and sleep deprivation. These are all true.
I know Show Talker. So
the thing you haven't addressed yet is the melatonin that I have taken along with my large amounts of alcohol.
So whoa! Back this train up because I've got a few more minutes before I go. You telling me you are hopped up on caffeine? Mm-hmm. And then you drank alcohol. Mm-hmm. You also have melatonin in you.
Yes.
I mean, if you ever fall asleep, have your wife check on you for a few hours.
This is a nightly occurrence over here. My brain doesn't do sleep anymore.
God damn,
that's what happens when you work 2 full-time jobs. Yeah, I mean, Lord. I'll take it if you're offering. Okay.
A frying pan?
No, the THC. I'll take the frying pan. Yeah, just hit me. Put me out of my misery. All right.
All right.
Well, you couldn't really call the situation better if the students' panties were checked as well. I'm sorry, that's not what I said. Maybe it is. I don't know if I slurred my speech. Though you couldn't really call the situation better if the students' panties were checked as well. The fact that the underwear check apparently only involved their bras strongly implies it was only girls who were checked. You don't know that.
There's not proof of it, but it's just the article's not included.
It's just like the idea that the men are lined up too, and it's like they also have their shirts open with their like nipples exposed, and there's one man out there who's actually wearing a white bra, and the teacher's like, "You Satoshi, that's a regulation bra. Never mind." Yeah. Strongly implies
he's wearing the male push-up bra size. What the fuck?
Strongly implies it was only girls who were checked to see if they were in compliance with the dress code. The semi-logical reason would be the boys' uniforms, by nature of having pants, mean that their underwear would never be seen anyway. But then the same should at least be true for the girls' bras, which are always covered by their uniforms and blouses. Honestly, that seems like something professional educators
did they not design their uniforms to cover that?
No, seriously, it's like... Oh, I'm sorry. There was a super chat here. Buy 2, get 1 free remote. Yeah.
What?
The wife beaters. Gotcha. The wife beaters. It's a Rontoya.
Man, I wish those were on sale for $1 in Japan.
I know, right? If you can get what was it, like 49 pairs of panties for like $34 or whatever it was. Anyway,
I took a girl shopping one time. I'm gonna say this one specific time. Let me be very specific here. And I was paying the bill. I wish freaking women's underwear and stuff was $1, because it sure as hell wasn't. End of story.
not the good stuff, not the stuff you want to see when they take it off.
Dude, I'm more worried with the merchandise than the,
I mean,
than what's covering it up at that
stuff
point.
you want to see when they take it off.
All right,
So,
What you want to see when they take it off, isn't it free because it's nothing?
Touche. All right. As for the checks taking place in a hallway, Japanese schools generally don't have locker rooms for general PE classes. I never thought about that.
What?
I
They
never
don't?
thought about that. They're always changed in the classroom,
What the fuck? I didn't know that.
which is partially why individual
Every
cloakrooms
anime ever
are
kinda
so often
alludes to
seen in
that.
high school sports anime and TV dramas. However, classrooms themselves are often used as changing room before/after PE class.
I'm
Boy,
sorry
it's
that I
gotta be
completely
so
separated
easy to
anime and
sneak
fucking
cameras in
reality. Oh,
See, this is why America wins, because the boys in America have to have real ingenuity, and the boys in Japan just stick the camera in the classroom.
there's
So
hey, you're like a bunch of boys in middle school. You want to go peep in on the girls? Man, there is
You speak from
there is this
experience?
guy standing down the hall. There is like 40 cameras, and then on top of that, they have a room inside of a room inside of a room. They
but
know we're coming.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say in Japan though, they just do the ninja method where they come in through the rafters. All right. Anyway.
Oh my god.
So, however, classrooms themselves are often used as changing rooms before/after PE class, and if the school was dead set on performing a bra color check, doing it in a classroom would have at least afforded greater privacy than the hallway. Other troubling revelations from the Bar Association study included a female student saying that her school's underwear check was performed by a male teacher, and at least one case of a student whose underwear didn't conform to the dress code being told to remove it. It's unclear if she was given the dress code compliant underwear to change into or had to spend the rest of the day with no bra at all. Online reactions to the report have been a mixture of frustration and anger. Disgusting. I feel sorry for those students. Those schools are run by perverts. They should put an immediate stop to underwear checks, they all said while stroking their dicks. While an immediate abolition is probably too much to hope for, it does indeed look like school underwear checks days are numbered. Damn it! And Fukuoka's neighbor, Saga Prefecture, has already said it will no longer check blah blah blah. That's the article we just read. All right, there you go. That's the podcast,
Bam.
friends.
That's it. Right
Reese,
there.
I feel like you're dying to go to sleep. How you doing? I will save this one for next podcast for you.
Lullaby
We are caught
and
up.
good night.
Anyway,
Go to
regarding
sleep, Senpai. All right.
regarding ReZero, I will just say this.
Zero?
Oh,
Just don't add
there's
any.
a show title we didn't use. I'll just say, I very much am enjoying it. It is perhaps
Damn good.
better than Steins Gate. Oh, that's a
Ooh,
question.
do you?
What?
I don't
Better
think
than
I like it
Steins
better.
Gate? Are you
I
on
don't think
crack?
Yeah, I'm asking myself. I don't think I like it better than Steins. I was gonna say it's definitely the best show I've seen in the past year, for sure. So when I first started watching, I just want to say this. I saw the I Love Amelia meme going around, and I thought to myself, there ain't no fucking way that Amelia is best girl over Rem and Ram. No fucking way. Right?
All right.
So then I started watching it, and Amelia, right away, I'm like, God damn, this is going to be hard to top. Right?
There's no way that Ram and Rem are gonna be best girl.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, I am determined to like Rem and Ram more, And then I started watching it, and it's like, all right, Rem,
No.
right.
I just said the opposite. I said there's no way Rem and Rem are going to be best girl now that you're watching it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that I thought for sure that I was determined to make Rem or Rem best girl over Amelia, but I was very shocked at how likable Amelia was right away. But I still think Rem is better. Just throw that out there.
Well, yeah, a lot of people labeled her as some sort of prude tsundere or something like that when I first heard of it. So I'm like, okay, Team Rem or whatever. But
Okay.
now,
No.
my brother
No, you
watched it.
got
It's
it
like,
wrong. It's
honestly,
not
I
Rem.
like
It's
Amelia
Ram.
more.
It's Ram. Ram with her. The thing I like about Ram is that she just says her sentence.
Red or blue?
Red. She
Okay,
says her sentence.
that helps
Red.
people right there.
And then there's that little kick to the nuts at the end that she does. I love that. I love
thing-
her.
So
Okay,
you're a masochist?
Oh,
I
God.
like her character a lot. I think
The thing
she's
that got
very
me
funny, and my heart is broken for her lost horn that she'll never get back. And I can't believe that the version of the show that Subaru is in,
That
he
she
broke
is
the
a
horn
massive
off of
cuck
Rem.
for the Lord?
The
I'm convinced the Lord is gay, and that's why his whole mansion is butt plugs.
the thing that like
Ugh.
bothered me, I could not bothered me. The scene, y'all are in season 1, right? What you're talking about? Okay.
Season 1, episode 1 through 13.
Okay. The thing
Half,
about that
first half.
that kept killing me, that was when he was like, there was those scenes where it was the Lord of the Manor. I can't remember his name, and he was,
it was
freaking holding
Roswell.
Roswald. Yeah,
Roswald.
Roswald. And he
Marshall
was
like
Mathers.
holding
the
her in the
aliens
middle of the
thing,
night,
right?
and I'm like, okay,
Yes,
that's interesting.
quite weird. Yeah,
That
especially
right there-
because
that
I'm
right
pretty
there
sure
caught me
he's
off
the
guard.
Klansman that took Ram's horn.
Yeah.
Is he not the Klansman who showed up and stole them from the village's babies?
Oh God.
Well, you'd think
Anyway,
that
I
they'd
don't-
successfully kill her if not taking her in.
Well, I'm going to save my full discussion on it for our next podcast because
All right,
I really
guys.
do have work in the morning. But if you guys want to sit and talk about anything, Dragon Ball Super card games or whatever is hot with the kids these days, you can use the word LOL all you want. I'll be leaving. Reese, you doing all right? I feel like I betrayed you somehow.
If you want to do that, then
I've had much to drink, and my wife is texting me to go to bed. So, next podcast, let's see. Week 1, do I work on Tuesdays? This is a
Second
good
half.
question. Well, it's probably gonna be next Monday. For the record, it's gonna be next Monday. I mean, unless a crazy amounts of news happens before Friday, and we're like, yeah, let's just do another one. And I finished ReZero because whatever reason.
Not to name names, but I thought you had a special guest coming on this podcast, or did I misunderstand something?
Holographics. So I'm inviting him for the next podcast when we actually do the full watch club because
Oh, okay, for
the way that-
specifically
the way that
ReZero.
yes, his channel is ReZero themed, and
okay,
it's also
cool.
going to be like something like $200 on that one stream. So
Holy crap!
out to him. Anyway,
So that's his time to shine. Should we all
yes, we
kiss
should
his feet or something, or steal his shoes and then replace them with new ones?
Yes. You are more than welcome to do that if you can find it.
I have no intention of.
All right. Anyway, all right, guys. Do you have anything you'd like to share before we leave, or before I leave? You guys are welcome to go as long as you want.
Sleep good, buddy.
Let me rephrase that. You guys are welcome to go as long as Reese wants, because he's got the ability to end the broadcast.
Yes, he does, and he also has no fear of me sticking around because I'm about to go to bed myself because I am exhausted,
Well,
and
and
the
then-
gear I'm using right now is not
I
comfortable.
want to say thank you guys for watching the show. If you did, and you're still watching, be sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't. Also, Onion Minion was that? No, Warlock. Damn it! I just shamed him by calling him a minion. Oh, by the way, E Castro. Casher, I would like to note something. I have done a disservice to you, and I'm very
God.
sorry. I forgot
Brad, you
that
fuck.
you guested on podcast 62 for a brief moment. So I've been waiting for you to be on the podcast, although you probably left right now when I'm super drunk. So if you are still watching, and we're gonna let you know right now, I am adding you to the podcast guest section of the Discord. Assuming you're in there. I'm pretty sure you're in there. So I'm going to add you there because you belong to be in there. Although I think I tried to do this last time and I was sober and didn't know how to add anybody to this. So now I'm confusing myself. Member list. Oh God. Dear God, how do I do this? Oh shit.
Who is he on Discord?
Here, create invite. Is that how you do it? Just invite them?
Oh.
Casher, if you're on Discord, okay, I don't know. If you're watching this, buddy, I want to add you to that group so that you can feel free to join. I don't think you're going to join. I think you joined in podcast 62 out of pity for me, but I appreciated it nonetheless, and I just wanted to thank you once again. Next time I'm in my watch club. I'm going to finish podcast 62 tomorrow at work. And then I'm going to watch podcast 63.
Before you run away, AC,
Yes.
we're going to be talking about ReZero. Lance, can you stop? It's true. Just thank you. We're going to be talking about ReZero.
Podcast still ain't over.
Yes. Yes, Reese.
And I just muted him. We're talking about ReZero next week.
Yes.
What are we doing after ReZero for the
good
watch club?
question. Okay. That is a real good question. Okay. First person in the audience to
RHYS OVA.
First person in the audience to type one of these in there is what we're going to do. Here's on my list here. Golden Kamui, Full Metal Panic. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Violet Evergarden. Paranoia Agent. Parasite. That's the one with the Y, not the movie. Great Teacher Onizuka. Megalobox. Kaiji or Mr. Tonagawa. And/or Bartender. Helsing. Both Helsing and Helsing Ultimate. New Game. Black Lagoon. There you go. If any of those sound good and somebody in the audience wants to comment, that's what we're going to cover. Golden Kamui it is.
Damn it. Only like two of those have like a single core.
Yeah. So
actually, hold on. What happened to the OVAs of ReZero?
Wait,
Wait, am I muted?
Gotta watch it. You're good. We can hear you.
There's no physical release for those yet, so
There's no physical release for it. Is there a dub though?
I'm back.
for the ReZero OVAs.
Kamui,
Yes.
yeah.
There is. Okay. All right. I'm gonna watch
Oh,
that.
sorry. Yeah.
So I would suggest that we continue to season 2, but I assume it's not going to be finished by the time we start.
It won't be finished or released with no banding for a long time.
Right. Okay. So I'm cool with doing Golden Kamui. Yeah, I realized. Thank you, Reese. We could have had a real bad time there where we didn't give people a hug. So Golden Kamui sounds good for me.
So that'd be season 1 and then season 2. So
Yeah,
it'd be 2 podcasts.
in season 2. Does season
And then
2 have
season 3.
Does season 2 have an LE?
No,
No.
Right, that's what I thought.
I think season 1 had the LE with no standard edition, and season 2 was just the standard edition.
Fuck.
All right, guys.
Animation. Okay.
Good night, everyone. Good night, chat.
Golden Kamui. Good night, Lance.
Bye, Fudnum. Bye, Reese with no E.
Yeah.
Sleep well, anime collector.
Thank you. I
Matt.
will. I will go upstairs and stay awake for another 3 hours. It is gonna happen. I'm on my 40th milligram of melatonin coming up right now. Thank you for that, and I will catch you guys next time. I like how you guys are now you're like my bedtime ritual. It's just getting a little weird. All right. As long as I'm still wearing my clothes. Okay. There he goes. All right. So yeah, you guys cool with Golden Kamui? Other hosts?
I'm fine with that.
I mean,
I watched it as it aired.
Seems
so
like a lot.
I might not rewatch it, but I'll.
So, Otakuso.
I might not
You were the
rewatch season
person-
1. That's all I've seen.
Otakuso, since you were the person who said Golden Kamuy, what the fuck? I didn't scroll down all the way apparently. Since you were the person who said Golden Kamuy, I'm gonna give you an option to pull Golden Kamuy from the selection. As I remind you that one of the main characters is voiced by Monica Rial. Do we want to still do Golden Kamuy? Otakuso says if not, we can do New Game. Okay, so we had Parasite the Maxim, and then we had E. Castro saying, "Oh, nice, Golden Kamuy is awesome." And yes, I am in the Discord. All right, so hit me up on the Discord later because I am too not sober to get this handled properly. And now you can have a sigh of relief, Reese. So I think we should do Golden Kamuy. We should just jump into it after ReZero. We'll just do the first season for now. I would like to do season 2 of ReZero, but obviously I want to wait for physical release to be available.
Might as well we'll have to wait for the home video release.
Yeah, I would also like to watch Rose of Versailles at some point. Maybe when the Blu-rays come out from Discotheque. Are you guys interested in watching that show?
Sure, but I'd have to get the Blu-rays from Discotheque then.
Yeah, we'll wait for the Discotheque Blu-rays. Anyway, all right, sounds good. Thank you guys for joining us. I hope you've had a good time, and I guess that's it. I'll see you next week. Oh, also, here's our amazing. Best girl, right there. All right, take it easy, guys.
I thought you preemptively ended it. Here's our.
And then
No,
just
yeah,
wait
well,
for-
because I, for the record, I didn't say anything after that because I already pulled myself out of stream. I can't talk anyway, so I just stopped talking. Anyway, all right, I'll see you guys next week. Take it easy.